suits tailored too. I said, Chuck, what suit jacket would fit me that wasn't tailored? I mean, does this look like a big and tall store kind of guy over here?
I don't know if they have little and small stores. I don't know.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was a called play, and I called it, Chuck.
A show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm ready to roll right now, Bo.
Can you believe we're doing this? This brings just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two ball play guys with a face for radio.
Look at another excuse for this Jaguar.
That's right.
Presented by First Security Bank. By Kirk Realtors, The Griffin Company. Pasco Air, Plumbing and Electric. Flight by Yingling and Fayetteville Auto Park. And now, Chuck and Bo.
I think the first thing we're going to notice Saturday in Dallas is how many people are at the game. I don't know if you guys have checked the ticket sites. I have. And there aren't many left.
What are you doing? Why are you checking the ticket
Because
sites?
I have people that are hitting me up for tickets.
Does this happen to you?
Yes.
On a regular?
Every game.
Yeah.
Every game. And so I'm trying to hope these people aren't up this early. But yeah. Pretty much every game.
Guys, I'm calling the game. I'll be in the radio booth. I'm actually working on my charts right now.
But let me see if I can get you some tickets.
Yeah, let me.
And so I was curious what was available out there and how much it was going for. Because I know the university early in the week, they made a big push. But you go to the website now, and it immediately redirects you to SeatGeek, which tells me all the ones they were trying to sell here are gone or they've been passed off to SeatGeek. I don't know exactly how that works.
Well, I mean, they're buying them up for demand, and putting some surcharges on there to make some money. That's how SeatGeek.
I understand all that. But my point is, I think that we're going to have one of the bigger crowds. I know it's the last Southwest Classic. Maybe that's got something to do with it. I think it's more to do with the fact that both teams are halfway decent. I think we're going to have a huge crowd. I think it might approach 70,000. What do you think?
I think it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Listen, I love this game atmosphere because it feels like one of those big-time neutral site early season games not everybody gets to play in. It's similar to a college football playoff game, which I've been to the last 5 years. We do a college football playoff show for ESPN, part of our production company, and being a neutral observer in that game and then being at the A&M Arkansas game, teams rarely get to play in an atmosphere like that, a stadium as AT&T is, just that kind of atmosphere, beautiful ball field.
Ballpark.
I was about to say ballpark. Beautiful environment. But with that kind of intensity from two different fan bases, 40, 50,000 fans on each side, I mean, it's loud. It's just different.
For Razorback fans, going to Dallas has always been special. We equate it, and I think I can speak for the whole state here, we equate it with success because it meant going to the Cotton Bowl, meant going to the Southwest Conference basketball tournament back in the day. Our people love going to Dallas. I mean, they do. And this is the last time they're going to get to do it for a while.
I mean, unless you're in the playoff, it's hard to have an atmosphere like this.
No, it's hard to be in a better stadium either.
Right, exactly. Thank you for articulating my point that I could not quite get out at the old ballpark.
Yeah. Well,
but it's awesome. If you've never been, and I know people repeatedly go because they enjoy it so much. It's just a big city, big town, lots of things to do. And then you go to this atmosphere. It's inside. It's loud. People are dressed up. It's fancy.
That is an interesting thing that you bring up.
It's what it is. It's fancy.
Because you're inside. The roof's closed. It's air conditioned.
It's
you're
bougie
going
football.
to Dallas. There's a bougie aspect to it. You're right.
The bougie bowl.
The tickets are more expensive, a lot more expensive than what you find during a regular season game. Of course, your seat's a lot better than a bleacher seat too, and the all the amenities are better. And so I just think Saturday is going to be a big day. And I also think this, Bo. I think we hear the negative and media by its very nature tends to be negative sometimes. But I do think there is an undercurrent within the Razorback fan base right now where a lot of people feel like, if they win this ball game, we're going to be 4-1, 2-0 in the league for the first time since 2006. And you look at the years when Arkansas has been 2-0 in the SEC, those seasons have gone really well.
Arkansas's only 2-0 starts in SEC play, Chuck, came in 1995, 1998, 2006. All three teams have what in common?
SEC championship game.
Yeah, they won or at least shared the SEC West title. And the 95 and 2006 teams actually played in the SEC championship game. I don't know if that's what we're talking about this year, but this game, despite Arkansas's lack of success in it, has always kind of felt like it tells you the kind of season you're going to have. This is an exciting game. I mean, it's a big game. The next 2 weeks have a chance to be two of the most exciting weeks that Arkansas has experienced back-to-back in a long time. If you win this game, we've talked about the potential for game day and all that. Tennessee coming to town, all the love for Tennessee. By the way, national media folks that we've talked to, and you see them writing about Arkansas, talking about Arkansas nationally, they're surprised by Arkansas in a positive way. There's a pretty good feeling about this team outside of our state. What about inside of our state? How much has changed inside of our state among Razorback fans?
Probably not as much as has changed outside the state. And it's generally that way. You were talking about 2006. I'll go back to 2006. What happened on opening night, 2006? USC came to Fayetteville and just beat the Razorbacks' brains in. But you know what? It was a long time before they lost after that. In fact, you had to go right to the end of the year when Trendon Holiday and that bunch from LSU came in. I remember that season very well. It probably took we were into November before Razorback fans viewed it as a good year because USC had just beaten the crap out of them on opening night. And you look at this season, and I wondered when we left Stillwater if this might happen. I guess maybe it was more wishful thinking than anything, but could we get to a point in November when we look back and that Oklahoma State game's a lot more of an aberration than maybe we thought? We may be saying, man, if we could just go back and replay that game, that'd be another win. So I'm not saying this year's going to be like 2006. That 2006 team was a really good football team. And the conference was aligned differently then. You could get to the SEC championship game out of the West as opposed to now having to be one of the top two. But who knows? First things first, though. Got to win Saturday. None of this stuff matters if you get beat.
Every week becomes more important when you win. Or if you get in such a bad situation, you're fighting for your job or fighting for a bowl game. But Arkansas right now, a lot of positives as they've continued to, I think, improve throughout the season. A lot of things to dive in on with this game. A&M coming into the league the topic was when they became a member of the SEC is how would it affect Arkansas? It hasn't gone great for Arkansas since joining this league. We'll get into some of that coming up. But, Chuck, we have an update on the UNLV quarterback situation. The school came out and basically denied his accusations yesterday. His agent went on national radio and claimed that he was verbally promised $100K for the quarterback, and the quarterback never got the $100K. Verbal. I don't know what kind of agent depends on verbal offers, and I don't know any team in the country that would blow their season up potentially over $100,000. But there's a lot to dig in on this, and we're going to talk to an agent coming up in the next segment, not just about the UNLV kid, but to get a little perspective, because I feel like, Chuck, what we're seeing in this whole NIL game is just a lot of backroom deals.
It's kind of dirty, isn't it? It's kind of dirty.
But it's what's been happening in college football for a long time. And it's just sort of becoming somewhat legal. It is legal in certain ways, but the way it's being approached by everyone is not necessarily legal. And there's no governance of it. No enforcement.
Well, and I'm not sure we're anywhere close to the truth on this matter either. And that's the part that frustrates me. You think about over the last 24 hours, there have been two narratives. The first one was started when we were on the air yesterday by somebody out there that UNLV did meet all its requirements to this guy, but his agent and his dad came to the conclusion that he was worth more money than what they'd agreed to pay. Now, later in the day, the agent spoke, and he said, no, what happened was we had a verbal agreement, and UNLV was going to pay us $100,000. Well, the dad chimes in and says, yeah, that's the way it was supposed to be. Now, I don't know who's telling the truth, but I do know this. It's difficult for me to take seriously the words of someone who calls himself an agent and didn't get the deal in writing. That's not a real agent. That's a guy playing an agent. That's a guy smelling money. And I do think at the core of all this is the aroma of money. I think that's what this is all about, from the agent's perspective and from the father's perspective.
We're going to talk to J.R. Carroll, who's an attorney in Arkansas and also has represented Arkansas first-round picks. I'm sure is representing Arkansas players, some of them in the NIL world. What's his perspective on this? And what is the world of NIL we're living in? That's coming up next as we get rolling on a Thursday. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
That's what made Taxi a hit for Harry Chapin, was it was so long, radio DJs loved it, particularly the overnight guys, because it was a 10-minute song.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Ty Story, high school football coach and former college quarterback.
I love coaching, but it's a lot more fun after LASIK. Now when I'm coaching, I can focus on my players and not my eyes. After LASIK, my eyes are even better than before when I had glasses or wore contacts. The McDonald Eye Team was great. They put me at ease. I couldn't believe how well I was seeing the day after surgery. Good vision and good football go together. I'm really glad I trusted my eyes to McDonald Eye Associates.
See your best with safe and affordable LASIK from McDonald Eye Associates. Register for your free consultation at mcdonaldeye.com.
Call the Hogs at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas for the 2024 Southwest Classic. This season marks the 15th and final iteration of the neutral site installment of this historic rivalry between the Hogs and the Texas A&M Aggies. It all goes down inside the house that former Razorback Jerry Jones built on Saturday afternoon, September 28th. Secure your tickets today at AT&TStadium.com.
The Razorbacks have won it. Look at these Razorbacks coming over to get that trophy.
When it comes to finding the perfect diamond, there's one name that stands above the rest in Northwest Arkansas. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. As the region's premier experts for diamonds, Blakeman's offers an unparalleled selection of brilliant stones, handpicked for their quality and beauty. They don't just help you find the perfect stone, they educate you on every step of the way. Whether you're planning a proposal, celebrating an anniversary, or simply treating yourself, Blakeman's is where your search ends and your story begins.
What's your Oaklawn? Is it hitting the slots for fun and high fives? Or having a round at Silk's Bar and Grill before the action? Play your way at Oaklawn's 24/7 non-smoking casino. With 1,500 slot machines, live roulette, craps, and blackjack, a sports book where you can watch and wager on your favorite games and live entertainment at Pop's Lounge, you'll never run out of fun. It's time for more winning and more excitement at Oaklawn. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
We bring in players. They didn't grow up with the Woo Big Shuri. They don't bleed hot red. They bleed money.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
It's a stunning way to go somewhere new in the 2024 Buick Encore GX from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers on the Buick Encore GX. The Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% on the 2024 Buick Encore GX. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, and we are live at Lily's Sandwich Shop in the Bakery District. Jose, but what we got whipping up today, man?
Man, today's special. We have the French toast turkey melt, kind of a special sandwich. It really didn't put us on the map, but it did put a star by our name.
Daily specials every day at the award-winning Lily's Sandwich Shop. If you don't believe me, ask Lily.
My name is Lily. My Baba makes the best sandwiches at Lily's Shop. Come by and see them at the Bakery District today.
At AOG, our main goal is to deliver reliable energy to your home safely. And keeping our team members, customers, and community safe starts with awareness. Natural gas has a distinctive, strong odor, often compared to rotten eggs or sulfur. If you smell gas, leave your home immediately. Go to a safe location and call 911. In addition to AOG, remember, if you smell gas, act fast. And always call 811 before you dig. To learn more about natural gas safety, visit AOGC.com. AOG, energy for life.
Come celebrate autumn in the natural state with Crabtree RV Center in Alma. Crabtree RV Center is having their big fall sale October 10th through the 13th. There will be special pricing and door prizes along with our experienced, knowledgeable staff to help you pick the perfect RV for your family. Come see why we've been voted the best of the River Valley in Northwest Arkansas. So mark your calendars for October 10th through the 13th and don't miss out on the big fall sale. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Arkansas right on time runs a frisbee catching dog.
Let me just say this about the guy throwing the frisbee, too.
He was out throwing the dog.
Oh, he was. It's like, quit showing off, man. The dog's the show, not your arm. I mean, it's this guy, the whole routine, every routine. He was like, let me show you how far I can throw a frisbee. It's like, dude, people aren't there to watch you. He's over there raising his arms up like he's the show.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, dude, you're running this dog to death.
That was great. I hope they bring the dog back with a better quarterback. J.R. Carroll's a sports agent. He's an attorney in Arkansas. He's a friend. He doesn't do interviews, but I often like to lean on people like J.R. so we have a better understanding of what's really happening when we see situations like the UNLV win, just to get it from a different perspective and analysis. And J.R. Carroll joining us now on the Chuck and Bo Show. J.R., thanks for being up early. I know you work hard. This isn't that early for you, but still, thanks for hopping on with us.
Good morning. Yeah. About to head to volleyball practice. Obviously not for me, but I got some time.
National Daughter Day was yesterday.
Catch him on the drive.
That's it.
Yeah. So JR, I know you're not like right in the middle of this UNLV situation, but from your perspective, if you were analyzing this, the quarterback leaves the team, they're 3-0, they got a chance to make the playoff. He says, hey, they didn't pay me. He didn't say this, but his agent basically said there was a verbal agreement to pay him $100,000 and they had only paid 12 of that. When you see this and the things that have played out, we won't rehash the whole story. You know it. What was your perspective or your thinking as you're watching this play out over the last 24 hours or so?
I mean, I'll tell you this. This is, a very typical, normal situation now in college. It's not a situation that occurs in season. The whole part about it occurring in season is a new thing, a new, mutation of NIL. And quite honestly, while I do not have the inside facts of this case, I can tell you that it's really easy to analyze because you have both sets of facts being said from both parties, and obviously the truth lies in the middle. You have UNLV saying that, we did not provide him we met all of our formal offers, which means, quite honestly, some informal offer was probably made. And in a normal situation, what happens is you see a kid playing well and some coach makes a remark about that he should be making more money and or they'll figure out a way for a kid to make more money. The other side of the fact is that you have an agent and a dad saying he was promised $100,000 and it didn't come. We also have the fact that this kid came from Holy Cross to UNLV. A lot of times when kids come from smaller schools to bigger schools, there is no NIL offer made because you just don't know how he's going to work out. It's my understanding that the facts are that this kid did not have an agent when they started the season. And so when you take all of those facts from both sides, I think the middle ground is this. I think that they were playing really well. Someone on the coaching staff probably made a remark. I mean, I'm going to believe the dad that someone told the kid that he needed to get money and or more money. Now, I also believe that that the kid went out and got an agent somewhere during the season, and I do not believe in any shape or form that UNLV would wreck their 3-0 season, in which they have an extreme opportunity to now play in the top 12 over $100,000. And one of the reasons why I believe this is that the person that says yes or no to this $100,000, it's not their money. It's either booster or taxpayer money. So why would someone not spending their own money spend $100,000? So I think that the request was a lot more than $100,000.
Interesting.
And go ahead.
I just think it's fascinating. It's great insight, but also, is it possible that somebody told him, I think you can get more if you sit out this year and wait for next year to go to even bigger school if you just redshirt?
I mean, that's a possibility. But to be real honest, I think what he was doing was, I think he was attempting to call the bluff of a university. And quite honestly, I think that most universities, and I really do believe that most universities are now kind of NIL tapped out. And I just simply think that the university did not have the funds to meet the request. And quite honestly, I think that's going on across the country. And to Chuck's point, I think that's one of the reasons why you're seeing, that gives me more of a feel and an indication that there was nothing that was promised to the young man before the season started. Because if something was promised to the young man prior to the season starting, it would have been in writing.
Yeah, that's another great point. Chuck wondered if the guy's a real agent.
Well,
he didn't get it in writing.
I mean, you do have to wonder how good the guy is, JR, honestly.
Well, and honestly, that's the biggest problem about NIL is really not the players, but it's the individuals that are representing the players, because because we are, Pandora's box is open. There is nothing that regulates that even remotely requires the individuals that represent these players to be qualified. Anyone tomorrow could open their eyes, wake up and say, I am an NIL agent, and here we go. And quite honestly, I would love to have a conversation with anyone who says that NIL has ruined the game, it's not college football, etc. I would simply want them to answer truthfully 2 questions for me, and then we can have an honest conversation, which is, why does college coaches make 100 to sometimes 1,000 times more than high school coaches? Did they go to some extra education? But did Gus Malzahn do something that made him more valuable when he went from Springdale to Auburn? And then secondly, why do NFL players make so much more money than NFL coaches?
Yeah, it's a great perspective. J.R. Carroll, attorney, sports agent with us.
I got a question, JR, and I've heard this a lot the last 24 hours, and I've wondered it myself in my mind. You said a little bit ago that, this is the in-season stuff's unprecedented. But the natural question is this going to continue to happen in other places?
I mean, I think it's going, it will. And, the issue that before this season, what happens is these deals get done in writing, usually, and when the player comes to the university. And then what I've seen is players do really well in the spring. You have the transfer portal in the spring, and they come and they argue and they say, I did really well this spring. We need to change my deal. I have a firm agreement with all of my players is a deal's a deal. We don't renegotiate after the fact. But that is a major problem that universities are dealing with, is they think that they have a deal with someone, and then they have a really good spring, and then they find out the deal's not the deal. And quite honestly, if we get to a situation where it's in the middle of season, I do think that you'll start to see kids sit out, quite honestly.
I know you got ahead.
And
go ahead.
You see it in the NFL that players hold out. And quite honestly, the reason why players hold out in the NFL is that's the only leverage they have.
I know you got to head to volleyball practice in a couple of minutes with your daughter, but sum this up real quick. Where are we? I know it's hard to do that, but how would you just describe the situation we're living in with NIL and what might happen over the next year?
I think that what the public needs to know, because I think that there's a misconception about NIL, is that only 1% of players are getting NIL money. And then secondly, because you see cars and other things, I would say 90% of the players that are getting NIL money, because of their demographic, are sending all that money home and supporting their family with those funds. And I can give you not just like, hey, an example. I can give you tons of examples where someone may be making $10,000 a month in NIL, and $9,000 of that is getting home to take care of their family, and they're living off 1%. And no one told them that, oh, by the way, you need to hold back 33% for taxes.
Wow.
And it comes to the end of the year, and they can't even pay taxes on money they actually didn't even have. And not only that, the best thing I can tell people about NIL is, I was at Kansas City Chiefs game watching Frank Ragnow beat the Chiefs, and Austin Allen was there, and Austin was asking about some of the bigger numbers in NIL, and Austin said, if someone would have just given me $300 a month, it would have completely changed my college experience. And if the NCAA would have just come out many, many years ago and said, these kids deserve NIL, we're going to cap it at $5,000 a player, it would have corrected a lot of issues with regard to Title IX.
But now we've got this.
Now he's in the gym.
But and now we've got, with the NCAA basically took the position that we have this term student athlete. It's bulletproof. We can't lose in court. And so we're going to do nothing. We're going to just thumb our nose up to the world. And when they took that position and when they lost, they basically just destroyed any hope of any regulation whatsoever. And so when they say it's the wild, wild west, it is the wild, wild west. And as much as I never want to give the University of Texas or the University of Alabama credit, I will give them credit in the fact that they both have hired GMs just like in the NFL. And they didn't try to do something cute and call them the associate senior director of athletic whatever. They just flat called them a GM. Yeah. They called a spade and said, these are the people that are going to decide the money for these athletes. Because quite honestly, to get this thing to where it needs to be, you have to take the coaches out of the equation.
JR, great stuff. Thanks for the insight, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for hopping on with us. Have a great Thursday. We'll catch up later.
Thank you.
Thank you, JR.
JR Carroll, sports agent, attorney. He basically represented every first or second round pick Arkansas has had for the better part of a decade. I mean, he's reputable. He knows his stuff. He's a friend. Known him for a long time. But Chuck, I think, and I know this can be somewhat tedious, boring, in the weeds, but this is, the underpin of college football, right? It's the core of what's happening. And I think the point at the end there, he made one earlier about how some of these players don't have good representation to help get these things facilitated. We don't have good representation at times on the university side either. And that's what you have in the NFL. You got an agent and you got a GM. And when you have those two things, it makes the confusion a lot. It really takes down the confusion. It really makes it way more understandable for everyone involved. And you don't have this mess.
I'm sure that's true. We're
not ready for that.
I'll tell you what I heard in what JR said is that, and I believe this, is that when we think of, wealthy NIL collectives, we're talking about less than 5% of the schools out there. Most of the schools are tapped out when it comes to NIL.
They've already put it all in.
They're literally spending every nickel.
For more.
They're literally spending every single nickel that they get through NIL. Some have a lot more nickels than others. But the point about you don't allow your season to be wrecked over $100,000. Can you imagine an SEC school allowing their season to be wrecked over $100,000? That would be like you and me breaking up this show over a $5 bet. I mean, man, we get to 10, it's a bigger deal.
It could happen.
But my point is, it shows the difference in the power guys and the little guys, because I'm quite certain JR's right. If they'd have had the $100,000, don't you think they'd have written him a check?
If they had told him he was getting $100,000,
but go back, deal. Right. JR's probably also right in that they're asking for a lot more than $100,000.
877-377-6963. I want you to know it's a beautiful 53 degrees out. And it is 6:33 on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Can we just say, for all of you who get up early in the morning and you work so hard, man, we're glad you're here. We just really appreciate all the work you do to make Arkansas better.
You talking to me?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Fayetteville Auto Park has been Northwest Arkansas's premier automotive dealer for a long time. There's a reason for that. It starts with great brands: Acura, Chevrolet, Honda, Toyota. Plus, they've got a huge pre-owned inventory. They've got an on-site collision center. And that really is what makes them your one-stop automotive headquarters. The best brands, the best people, the best service, and the best selection. Whatever your automotive needs, Fayetteville Auto Park.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Just thinking, what is a Pirates' favorite college football team?
Say it, Bart.
Arkansas.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Touchdown, Arkansas!
We fought back. We took a punch, and we answered back.
He's going to go! Johnson's at midfield, and there he goes! 98 yards. Keep, I saw it, but I'm not sure I believe it.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Harry Robinson Salisol Ford wants to buy or trade for your vehicle today, and they will give you top dollar. Pre-owned car values are at historic all-time highs, and your car today is worth more than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, and they'll give you more than any other dealer. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they'll still buy yours. Harry Robinson Salisol Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisol.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard. Until the other team scores. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2023 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, it's Zach from the Ruskin and Zach Show. Join us Friday, September 27th from 2 to 6 as we broadcast live overlooking the 15th green at the Choctaw Club at the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship. We'll have interviews with some of the best players in the world and other special guests, and we'll do it all from the best way to enjoy the golfing weekend from the Choctaw Club overlooking the 15th green. Join us, Ruskin and Zach, live from the Walmart Northwest Arkansas Championship overlooking the 15th green at the Choctaw Club, Friday, September 27th.
Attention restaurant owners, managers, food service directors, and anyone getting ready to open a new restaurant soon. Don't miss Tankersley's Foods 80th Anniversary 2024 Fall Food Show on Wednesday, October the 2nd at the Fort Smith Convention Center. See, taste, and try items available for your menu starting at 9 a.m. Expand your knowledge with educational seminars starting at 8 a.m. It's the 80th Anniversary 2024 Fall Food Show, Wednesday, October 2nd at the Fort Smith Convention Center. Go to tankersleyfoods.com for detail.
When I need a place to stay in Northwest Arkansas, I always choose the Inn at the Mill. It's centrally located in the heart of NWA at the Johnson exit off I-49 and is the most unique choice of hotels in the region. Whether you're in town for the game, a concert at the Amp, business travel, or just a weekend away, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious, clean room ready for you. Reserve your stay at the Inn at the Mill, 479-443-1800, or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I used to have a friend that said if deer hunting was really a sport, you like chase it down and kill him with a knife. You wouldn't shoot it with a gun.
Good Lord.
I'm just telling you what he said.
What are we doing this morning?
I'm just telling you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
The best part of that clip is Chuck saying he used to have a friend.
Yeah.
That's a sure sign of maybe changed friends. Chuck, we have a traffic update.
I think it might have been family member, might have been more of it.
Traffic on the H.
Oh,
here.
really?
Yeah, 638. Good morning. We have a traffic update. North College Avenue from Millsap Road to Joyce Boulevard is closed, in addition to the North Fulbright Expressway in all directions. I don't know what happened. This is not. I'm not in the helicopter this morning.
Is
but
there
it's
any
closed.
part of Fayetteville where there's not a road
That whole
closed?
thing around Joyce and College and the Fulbright Expressway is not a good situation right now.
Oh, I can tell you 4 or 5 situations.
JR,
right now,
avoid. JR, if you're still listening, avoid. You and all the friends of people in the area of the mall. It's a disaster. Yes, every time, without fail, I leave this office, no matter what route I take to the University of Arkansas campus, there's a road closure and a detour.
I know. There's detour signs everywhere.
And sometimes it happens while you're in your meeting on the way back. It's like that was open on the way here. What happened?
I'm sure they'll be very nice roads when they're finished.
Brent and Cersei. Brent, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. I'm sure it'll have alleviated all kinds of problems.
Pavement will be nice.
Hey, Brent.
Good morning, fellas.
Hey, Brent.
Chuck, Bo, I really enjoyed your interview with Mr. J.R. Carroll. Was that his
Yes,
name?
that's right.
That was great insight.
Our local Jerry Maguire, all over it.
Okay, well, I listened yesterday. I was coming back from giving the Coaches in the Mouth Player of the Week in Hackett, and I happened to be listening to sports talk radio, and they had the agent for the UNLV quarterback on the show I was listening to.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
And I think that was this guy's first foray into agency.
Yeah. Now he's if you're going around complaining that you didn't get your verbal deal for your client, I don't even know what to say. Like, you're not a real agent. Like, the whole thing's just bush league. It's just amateur hour.
It really is. I mean, it is.
I mean, then you go out and tell everybody I'm an amateur. Brent, thanks for the call. You got anything else?
Yeah, just one job was no. I'm firing up a heater right now.
I want you took a breath, and I don't know.
I'm sucking in that smoke, ripping that heater.
I feel compelled to point out that the Chuck and Bo show does not promote any sort of activity.
I appreciate that, Bart. Sometimes we need you to just jump in and remind folks that
We don't condone that sort of thing, but it works for Brent. It works for Brent.
I don't know. While he does that, let's go to Nelson and Harrison. Good morning, Nelson.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, guys. You guys are all over it as usual. One thing I like about this show is you guys are going to put it out there right. And this deal with UNLV is just absolutely nuts. I mean, the kid didn't know what he was doing, apparently. He got an agent that don't know what he's doing, apparently. So here they are in the middle of this. And, guys, this is what I love. Our university, our coaching staff, and our AD, they went out and got kids that had a reason to move up. Taylon Green wanted to challenge his skills in the SEC. JaQuindon Jackson wanted to challenge his skills in the SEC. Chuck, I seen your piece there on JaQuindon Jackson. I had not seen that before at the end of the Sam Pittman coaches at the end of the Auburn game. That is awesome what you put on there about JaQuindon and when he come over from Utah Utes. That's absolutely what we need in these kids. Not money-hungry kids that want a chance, an opportunity. Now, I got one more thing to say, guys, and this is about recruiting, okay? That little weasel up there in Kokomo, what he did with Courtney Crutchfield, coming down, stealing him from us, putting up the billboard, and he ain't even played it down, not even in meaningless games. So these kids need to know who they're dealing with when they're dealing with these coaches. Guys, this is my thing for my Eddie thing. The song of the day should be Everything is Beautiful by Ray Stevens.
Eddie's on hold. We'll get to him next on the Chuck and Bo Show at 6:44. Woo!
I can't do that.
Chuck, I believe this is all your fault.
Yeah.
I believe
Thank you.
All right, there we
Thank
go.
you. And it's because he doesn't have YouTube TV for starters.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
There's a sense of pride when it comes to things built in our state. And you can add Flyway Brewing to the list, a craft brewery with roots in North Little Rock dating back to 2013. With popular flavors like Blue Wing Berry Wheat Ale, the Honeybird Blonde, and the Early Bird IPA, there's no shortage to enjoy a tasty craft beer flight at the Flyway Brewery in Fayetteville, 1550 East Zion Road, or in North Little Rock at 314 Maple Street. Flyway Craft Beer, also available in restaurants and stores everywhere.
Ty Story, high school football coach and former college quarterback.
I love coaching, but it's a lot more fun after LASIK. Now when I'm coaching, I can focus on my players and not my eyes. After LASIK, my eyes are even better than before when I had glasses or wore contacts. The McDonald Eye Team was great. They put me at ease. I couldn't believe how well I was seeing the day after surgery. Good vision and good football go together. I'm really glad I trusted my eyes to McDonald Eye Associates.
See your best with safe and affordable LASIK from McDonald Eye Associates. Register for your free consultation at mcdonaldeye.com.
Call the Hogs at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas for the 2024 Southwest Classic. This season marks the 15th and final iteration of the neutral site installment of this historic rivalry between the Hogs and the Texas A&M Aggies. It all goes down inside the house that former Razorback Jerry Jones built on Saturday afternoon, September 28th. Secure your tickets today at AT&TStadium.com.
The Razorbacks have won it. Look at these Razorbacks coming over to get that trophy.
When it comes to finding the perfect diamond, there's one name that stands above the rest in Northwest Arkansas. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. As the region's premier experts for diamonds, Blakeman's offers an unparalleled selection of brilliant stones, handpicked for their quality and beauty. They don't just help you find the perfect stone, they educate you on every step of the way. Whether you're planning a proposal, celebrating an anniversary, or simply treating yourself, Blakeman's is where your search ends and your story begins.
What's your Oaklawn? Is it hitting the slots for fun and high fives? Or having a round at Silk's Bar and Grill before the action? Play your way at Oaklawn's 24/7 non-smoking casino. With 1,500 slot machines, live roulette, craps, and blackjack, a sports book where you can watch and wager on your favorite games and live entertainment at Pop's Lounge, you'll never run out of fun. It's time for more winning and more excitement at Oaklawn. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
There's nothing like a college football Saturday, a few beers, your phone, and Twitter.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
State sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle in stock during the fall inventory reduction sale. Harry Robinson Buick GMC and Salisal Ford combined inventories. Adam, we got the biggest selection and the best prices. Vehicles starting at just $59.99.
Got a ton of vehicles in stock, not wholesaling a bunch of stuff, trying to wholesale some of that stuff to the public. Guys, if you're looking for vehicles, now is the time to buy. We give more for your trade. We buy cars in. It's state sales tax paid. We're giving away 2 four-wheelers here at the end of the week. Guys, come out and come see us. A lot of times I have people asking me, how much for this lifted truck, but I don't like those wheels. Guys, come in here. Auto Accessories is right down the street. You want to pick your wheels. You want to pick your tires. You want to pick your lift. Come out, come see us. State sales tax paid.
You've got 50 lenders available to make sure everyone gets financed.
And it doesn't matter. I try to take your best bureau, your TransUnion, your Equifax, the best bureau, and send it to the bank that works the best.
State sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle. The fall inventory reduction sale. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
True Work is the most technical workwear in the world, delivering modern solutions to timeless job site challenges. Innovation meets tradition in True Work's high-performance lineup of work pants, shirts, and jackets, all engineered to give you the comfort and protection you need, especially in the most extreme conditions. Check out the full lineup with over 50,000 five-star reviews at truework.com and use the code SPORTS15 to get 15% off your first order. That's TRUEWERK.com. True Work helps you be your best when the weather's at its worst.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Come on, leave me with this. The Beachy Boy, fight for your right.
You gotta fight.
You gotta fight.
There it is.
For
Yeah.
your right to run.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You don't even have to fight for it anymore, Chuck. It's just a right. It's entitlement.
It's one of the entitlement programs.
It's
Your right to party.
It's called entitlement. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning. There's a traffic shutdown around the Northwest Arkansas Mall area. College Avenue, Fulbright Express, Joyce Boulevard. If you're familiar with the area, you know what I'm talking about. I would go different directions. I would
go down Gregg Street.
Else.
Get on the interstate from there.
Yeah, and
find an alternate route.
No doubt run into another situation where there's construction, but I mean, this could be shut down for several hours from what we're being told. And when news breaks, we're here.
Wow.
On the Chuck and Bo
That's
Show.
what we do. Full service. You brought the weather a while ago. It was big.
It's 54 now. It's 53 earlier, 54 now.
Climbing
to 80 today. It's
wait till
beautiful.
the sun comes up.
Beautiful. It is 6:51. Eddie in Clarksville. Good morning. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show, Eddie. Fire away.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good
Eddie.
morning to this whole nation. You know, that win last weekend at Jordan-Hare Stadium in the Tiger Den, when we left double-digit winners, it's just what the doctor ordered. Let me define what the doctor ordered for you. It's something needed, something wanted. And let me say that it's so pleasant. It's joyful, like rays from the sun. Pour that sugar on me, baby. I just love that last caller. He's starting to get it, baby. And if you'll be so kind, guess what happened last weekend? Our players felt their fight, so, baby. They felt their fight for their right to win SEC games. And let me tell you this, if you'll be so kind this morning, let me go down memory lane, just 3 games that stand out to me. The first game I went to is for Brian in Ozark in 1981. I was in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Woo! Baby! And Billy Ray Smith stepped up, All-American. Billy Ray. Our defense played huge. We had 7 turnovers. And we won. We routed the Longhorns 42-11, baby. And the second game I want to go to, woo! I go down memory lane in 2002. I was in the Rock when Matt Jones just went into the Hall of Honor. He let that ball rip, baby. And we beat the Bengals of Baton Rouge. And let me say this. Well, not only did we beat them, we won the SEC Western Division title. And then the third game I went to, woo! Greatest performance I ever witnessed. I was in, here's the Bengals again, in Baton Rouge. Darren McFadden, 50-48, 3 overtime. Woo! And when we left, they say the place where dreams die. We left winners, baby, and a whistle going back to Fayetteville. And I'm going to leave you with 2 songs this morning.
Okay.
I'm going back to Def Leppard. Pour that sugar on me, baby. And then the others, Florida, Georgia Alive. Get your shine on. Because come Saturday afternoon, we're going to get our shine on. And when we leave Arlington, Texas, that sugar's going to be all over the field. Thank you, my
I did not have Florida Georgia line on the bingo card this morning. Thank you, Eddie. I was just thinking maybe we should start coming in with some of our own songs, like how we're feeling on a regular basis. Like to point out that segment of Eddie's greatest moments in Razorback history brought to you by Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
They took a little trip down memory lane right there. I remember the 1981 game. I remember it very, very well.
Great moments in Razorback history with Eddie. Have you noticed how Eddie will start a call and he'll tell you how he's feeling, and then he'll define it?
That's right. It's it's a man who understands himself.
Yeah.
I mean,
what was the definition? You know what that means?
Yeah.
We're also brought to you by First Security Bank. Bank better with First Security. Member FDIC. Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric, locally owned and operated. Fayetteville Auto Park, Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks, and Sweatnam Cosmetic. Check out their website, SweatnamCosmetic.com. Look at the Sweatnam Edge and get your free evaluation like Chuck and I did.
Yes, we did.
Those results coming live on the air, I think, at some point.
Oh, no.
Next week.
That's going to be bad. By the way, Eddie's got the woo thing. I mean, it's coming from the diaphragm, baby. It's coming deep.
Actually, I think it's better than Ric Flair's.
I think so, too.
I think it's actually better than the original. Sometimes that happens. He's hijacked Ric Flair's woo.
Ric Flair's made a lot more money off that woo than Eddie is.
Coming up on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above also offers tree and limb removal. Don't forget hauling and dumpster rental as well. More than just a mowing service, they're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Are you ready to unleash the beast? Monster Energy is here to give you the edge this college tailgate season. Loaded with bold flavors, our powerful blend gives you the energy you need to push you beyond your limits. Tune in all season long with Monster, the energy drink of ESPN Radio College Football Tour. Power your performance with a drink that's as hungry for victory as you are. Crack open an ice cold Monster and dominate your competition. Monster Energy, unleash the beast. Grab yours today.
Good morning, Smack Daddy. What's happening?
What's up, Bald Brotherhood?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Here we are at Road Chevrolet once again, another month underway. It's back to school time. People going back to work. They need reliable transportation. And luckily, Grant Neal and the guys at Road Chevrolet are here to take care of you with a great selection.
We really work hard to source the best quality used cars. Thankfully, new car sales are picking up, which means that we're getting our new cars as trade-ins, which is the best quality used car we can come across. So we're really proud to have a great selection right now across the board. You know, Honda, Ford, Toyotas. We try to carry a large selection, and at every price point. So we've got cheaper cars for lower budgets, as well as practically new, miles under 1,000 miles used vehicles.
So if you need something you can trust, something you can be proud of, this is the place to be. Road Chevrolet. It's 2800 Alma Highway in Van Buren. You know, we always say, prices you'll love, people you can trust.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine, a high in the upper 70s to near 80. We'll start to see some changes moving away tonight. Area of low pressure could touch off just a few showers. Our overnight lows will drop down into the upper 50s. Rainfall moves in from Helene on Friday. Our high in the low to mid 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
We are back, and we are looking at a pretty lopsided matchup, Jim.
That's right, Ron. I mean, in one corner, we've got a 175-pound guy, and in the other, a 6,000-ton heavyweight train.
Jim, this guy has no idea what he's getting himself into.
It's no contest. Every day, people tempt fate and die trespassing on railroad tracks. See tracks, think train.
From the Bushlight Studios, this is ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Are you sure this is legal? I don't know. It's fun though, isn't it?
Are you looking for a great deal on a previously owned vehicle but want to avoid high-pressure sales? If so, you need to visit Edwards Auto Sales in Roland. For over 30 years, Ernie Edwards and his staff have helped folks from Arkansas and Oklahoma River Valley buy a quality vehicle and offer a buy here, pay here program as part of their services. Some restrictions may apply. Come visit Edwards Auto Center newly remodeled facility, 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on your right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
When I need a place to stay in Northwest Arkansas, I always choose the Inn at the Mill. It's centrally located in the heart of NWA at the Johnson exit off I-49 and is the most unique choice of hotels in the region. Whether you're in town for the game, a concert at the Amp, business travel, or just a weekend away, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious, clean room ready for you. Reserve your stay at the Inn at the Mill, 479-443-1800, or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T.
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text ALL to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermal, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text ALL to 321-321. That's ALL to 321-321.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I just dialed the wrong number trying to call y'all and got a recording that was a commercial. And then the commercial cut off and a lady came on the phone congratulating me for seeking help with my erectile dysfunction.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was a call play, and I called it.
A show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm ready to roll right now, Bo.
Can you believe we're doing this? Just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two ball play guys with a face for radio.
Let's make another excuse for this jackwater.
That's right.
Presented by First Security Bank. Why Kirk Realtors, the Griffin Company. Pasco, Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Flight by Yingling. And Fayetteville Auto Park. And now, Chuck and Bo.
You know, we got some great insight from J.R. Carroll, who's a sports agent, represented probably for the last decade every first or second round pick Arkansas has had. And the guy knows his stuff. You know, obviously working in the NIL world, helping athletes now. He's an attorney here in Arkansas. I thought we got great insight. Justin in Hot Springs, because JR was talking about how, you know, a lot of these guys don't understand even what they're dealing in. And if you don't get the right representation, and then sometimes the school doesn't have the right representation in certain cases, if you don't have either one of those things at the right spot, it leads to a lot of misinformation. But from a player's perspective, they often don't even know. Like, their families might be struggling. They might be sending all the money or most of the money back to their family. And then tax season comes up and they didn't even know they had to take 30% out of their check. So money that didn't even go in their pocket that they gave to somebody else. So Justin weighed in Hot Springs and he says, I can't feel sorry for them. I run a restaurant and servers get tips. They have to hold their taxes themselves. My wife's a hairdresser. Same thing. They want to be grown-ups. We'll make grown-up decisions. You have to pay taxes in a world. It's basic economics, boys and girls. Well, listen, Justin.
Well, it's not quite that simple.
Also, like, any of us are only as good as how we're educated.
That's right.
And I'm not talking about school. How do you know anything unless somebody tells you? And we're living in a world where there's a lot of misinformation. Part of the reason we wanted to do this show, one of the reasons, is we wanted to help bring information to the table so you could make educated or informed opinions. We got into that quite a bit over the raffle thing. A lot of people were thinking Arkansas couldn't they were choosing not to participate in the raffle. Not true. They're not allowed to participate in the raffle as the laws, legislation, rules, whatever you want to call them, are written right now. 877-377-6963. It's the Chuck and Bo Show.
There's got to be a way to regulate this. And I know people hate regulation. People hate rules. I get that. People want to ask for forgiveness rather than permission. I'm that way too. I get it. But I think we see in every instance that occurs that without some sort of regulation, this is going to get a lot worse before it gets any better. And the idea that you can start, throwing money around and everybody's going to be ethical and everyone's going to be on their best behavior and always have the interests of these kids at heart, that's really naive. I find the whole thing, like, for example, with the UNLV thing, interesting. This $100,000 verbal deal, the agent that is making all these claims didn't even represent him when that stuff was allegedly going on. He wasn't even his agent. When the season began, this kid didn't even have an agent. This guy hopped on. He hopped on the bandwagon 2 or 3 games into it. And now all of a sudden, this family, and I'm sure they're well-intentioned and good people, but this kid's defining moment is being handled by someone who is at best a sort of agent and who didn't even come onto the scene until after the season started.
At worst, a hanger on to somebody that there's nothing to hang on to right now.
I mean, it's a dirty setup, and what you're basically depending on is the people that are giving these kids information to be giving them accurate information, and I just don't believe that's happening because I don't think the people that are telling them how things are going to be really have any earthly idea how things are going to be. I think there are probably a handful of them out there that do, and I think JR is probably one of them. But I would be willing to bet those who are knowledgeable are the exception, and those who are just running their mouths are the rule. And that's my impression of the NIL right now, is that they're just making it up as they go along.
Bad information leads to bad decisions. And in my opinion, I'm going to say it, this poor quarterback made a really bad decision, probably a career-changing, life-changing decision. And it's actually sad. It's actually sad.
Well, yes.
It really is. I mean, I hate to see anybody who just takes
But I'll tell you
their
what's
ability.
even sadder. This guy who didn't have any interest in this kid at the start of the season, who hopped on the bandwagon a game or two into this, if he goes to another school, he being that player, and he ends up getting a better NIL deal, that agent's going to want a piece of it.
Reminds me of Baby Billy. I mean, that's what this guy fell for, Baby Billy.
I've had that song in my head for like 3 days. I can't get it out of my head.
This is what happened.
Got
to
you
this.
feeling
This
down.
is what happened to this kid.
Billy's Health
That's
Elixir
exactly what's
will
going
lift
on.
you up. Heal the spirit to heal the body.
Colds, flus, streps, even COVIDs, every disease cured with ease by this blessed formula based on ancient scripture. Just drink this tasty coconut silkiness every morning, and that's it. Done. $100 for a 1 month jug. Additional jugs only $65 a pop. And I make nothing.
Nothing.
Zero.
Zilch.
By the time I pay all my scientists, all my people in my research department, lab coats, it's a wash.
It's a wash.
Well, why you do it then, baby Billy? Well, because I'm selfless. And I want to heal as many people.
He fell for it.
Dear Lord, let's.
That was the guy's pitch to that quarterback's family.
The quarterback fell for it.
That was actual live. That was a live mic from the Sluka home.
He fell for it.
And they fell for it.
They're mad at the wrong guy. They're mad at the wrong guy.
He's got Baby Billy for an agent. That's the issue.
Arkansas is on the road this weekend. It is a road game, but even if it was a home game, they'd still be on the road. The fifth stadium they'll have played in 5 weeks. This is a massive game, I think, for all kinds of reasons. Not only the outcome of the season, I think the momentum of the season, but Chuck, this A&M game has an atmosphere unlike probably any other the Hogs will play in. They'll play in some road, hostile environments. They'll play in a great environment, no doubt, next Saturday night against Tennessee at Reynolds Razorback Stadium. But this is just a different, it's almost like a championship environment. Like if you were to play in the SEC championship game, the environment in this game is like that. The crowd divided pretty much 50-50 and loud and full.
When they're good, and both teams are good this year, or at least have the promise. One of them's probably going to be halfway decent before the season's over. They both think they're good, is what I'm saying. Their fan bases think they're good. I think we're going to have a big crowd. I've seen a lot of different things happen in that Southwest Classic, and you guys have too. There have been years when there were 70, 75,000 people in there, and I've been in there when they called it 55, and I don't think there was 45. So it's kind of gone back and forth. I think a couple of things are at play this year. One is the fact it's the last one. And if you've not been in that stadium after this one, unless the Razorbacks schedule a one-off game down there every now and then, if you don't go watch the Cowboys play, it's going to be the last chance to go in there. Unless you just want to go to a game down there and watch when the Razorbacks aren't there. So I think a lot of people are going because of that if they've not been. But I think the biggest thing is both teams have a lot of promise. And even though by its very nature, what we do and how a lot of the media works, you hear more from the negative folks than you do from the positive folks. I think the undercurrent in all this is that Razorback fans are excited about the possibilities of this season. They do want to go to Dallas. They have a little money saved up. There wasn't a bowl game or an NCAA tournament or anything like that to go spend a bunch of cash on last year. So they're ready to go. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun this weekend. I'm looking forward to it.
It's a great environment. If you haven't been, you should experience it. Maybe too late now, but I mean, hey, just go. Just go figure it out. Sneak in the side door. Do you see that? I saw a story today that some mom was let out of Disney in handcuffs because she tried to sneak her and her kids in to the theme park there.
Really?
In Orlando. Yeah. Wouldn't that be great? Hey, kids, I got this. And then you get let out in handcuffs. We were just trying to get in the Thunderation line or whatever. Have you been at Disney, Chuck?
Yeah. I've been to Disney World.
My point is
don't
deal. Try to sneak into the AT&T Stadium.
I won't.
Do you have you got your credential?
I don't have it in hand.
You have tickets?
But,
any tickets? We could.
No, but I know people who are looking because I've heard from a lot of them.
Why don't you have an automated response that just says, I don't have tickets?
Because here's the deal. I just didn't learn how to say no. And the truth of the matter is,
you want to be a big shot.
No. I got over that too. That might have been true the first 4 or 5 years, but I got over that.
I understand. It's hard to tell people we don't have that kind of pull.
In all seriousness, it is. Yeah, really. Do you think they really know who I am over there?
You're Chuck Barrett. Yeah, I don't have that kind of pull.
People think if you live in Fayetteville and you work for the, around the program, people say, "Hey, how about a box of free tickets?
How about a box?
Just take as many as you want.
Maybe 8 or 10. Just 8 or 10. Could you get me in Jerry's box?
That is a great experience down there, though, and I know you feel this way too. Bart does too. When you go in a situation like that, and it's really cool. You do wish you could take everybody down there for one game and let them experience it too, but unfortunately, that's not possible. Tickets are really expensive for this game.
Yeah. I mean, everything there is expensive.
It's Texas.
I mean, it's a dress up. It's a bougie affair.
Bigger in Texas.
It is
Dallas.
It is a bougie affair. By the way, the area around the Northwest Arkansas Mall, the interchange, the Fulbright Expressway, College Avenue, Joyce Boulevard, a lot of traffic closure there. Apparently, a situation involving the Fayetteville Police Department and first responders on the scene. We don't know exactly what's happening. We've heard some stories, but I hope everything ends up okay. But it looks like traffic is could be closed. Is it back open? It's
it's back open.
Breaking news. We go live to the traffic center. Bart Pullman standing by at 7:14 in the helicopter traffic department. Bart, go. Chuck can only do that for so long. He's got to have a cigarette.
I'm out of breath. Hurry.
Jeez.
What do you have?
7 a.m. update. The roadways all clear.
Okay.
There you go. Never mind.
Everything Bo just said.
JK. It's open now. 877-377-6963. We'll dive into this game a little bit. Also, A&M coming into the SEC. Back when that happened, we wondered how it would impact Arkansas. So that was in 2012. So we've got 12 years of data now. What have we learned about Arkansas since A&M has joined the league?
That Arkansas has hired some bad coaches. That's what we've learned.
Okay, well, can we get into some details?
No.
We got to go to the newsroom and then we get the analysis.
What I'm saying is that there's this idea that Arkansas struggled because A&M's come into the league. I don't believe that.
Do you think Chuck's wrong? New topic. Is Chuck right or is Chuck wrong?
Whatever.
It's called Think About It Thursday on the Chuck and Bo Show.
When they do that, they can hear our off-air conversations. And I always want to know whether or not anybody can hear us.
We know how you are off-air. It's something to be aware
of that.
Yeah, it's something to be aware of.
I know.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
When it comes to finding the perfect diamond, there's one name that stands above the rest in Northwest Arkansas. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. As the region's premier experts for diamonds, Blakeman's offers an unparalleled selection of brilliant stones, handpicked for their quality and beauty. They don't just help you find the perfect stone, they educate you on every step of the way. Whether you're planning a proposal, celebrating an anniversary, or simply treating yourself, Blakeman's is where your search ends and your story begins.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
You know, there's a sense of pride when it comes to things built in our state, and you can add Flyway Brewing to the list, a craft brewery with roots in North Little Rock dating back to 2013. With popular flavors like Blue Wing Berry Wheat Ale, the Honeybird Blonde, and the Early Bird IPA, there's no shortage to enjoy a tasty craft beer flight at the Flyway Brewery in Fayetteville, 1550 East Scion Road, or in North Little Rock at 314 Maple Street. Flyway Craft Beer, also available in restaurants and stores everywhere.
Ty Story, high school football coach and former college quarterback.
I love coaching, but it's a lot more fun after LASIK. Now when I'm coaching, I can focus on my players and not my eyes. After LASIK, my eyes are even better than before when I had glasses or wore contacts. The McDonald Eye Team was great. They put me at ease. I couldn't believe how well I was seeing the day after surgery. Good vision and good football go together. I'm really glad I trusted my eyes to McDonald Eye Associates.
See your best with safe and affordable LASIK from McDonald Eye Associates. Register for your free consultation at mcdonaldeye.com.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, I'm Taylor Green, Arkansas QB, and these two guys definitely have a face for radio.
It's a stunning way to go somewhere new in the 2024 Buick Encore GX from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Right now, get up to $3,000 off and 0.9% financing for well-qualified buyers on the Buick Encore GX. The Encore GX is a boldly styled 5-person SUV that is ready to reward. Up to $3,000 off and 0.9% on the 2024 Buick Encore GX. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Summer is here and adventure is calling. Visit Southern Tire Mart for a new set of Yokohama tires to get your vehicle ready for summer travels. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let Southern Tire Mart ensure your vehicle is ready for the open road. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. And this is Matt, and we're at the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Folks, it's the most wonderful time of the year.
No, it's not Christmas yet.
No, Mom, he's referring to football season.
Oh, speaking of football, guess what we just got in?
Season tickets?
Sideline passes?
Well, close. We just started receiving the Nike sideline apparel like hats and polos.
Yeah, but did we get jerseys?
Yeah, we got both kinds, cardinal and white.
We also have youth and adult sizes.
That's great. People have been asking for that for quite some time now. Matt, by the way, I did some research, and there's no shot for going viral.
Oh, Lord. Mom, he's a goner.
Anyway, besides Nike, we also have Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many other brands.
All at the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, which is 989 South Razorback Road, next to Baumwalker Stadium. Matt, you tell them all about them interweb-based grand
He means the website, which is shoponrazorback.com.
Or give us a call at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
I got up this morning early watching the sunrise. I got it running through my veins right now. You know what I cranked up? I cranked up a song, Whatever It Takes by Image Dragon. And the song, you know what? It symbolizes grit and determination. And I want to send that song to our team and players. Because you've got to find your grit and determination. You can win this game at Jordan Harris. Win it for your coach. Win it for our fan base. And more importantly, win it for yourself.
Break me down and build me up, whatever it takes.
I do love me some Image Dragon.
That's where name, image, and likeness really started.
That's right.
From the Image Dragons.
Image Dragons. Or as they might be known to some, Imagine Dragons. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Texas Aggies, is going to join us at the top of the hour, and looking forward to hearing from him. 877-377-6963 is the number. Jeff is in Farmington. Jeff, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning, guys. How's everybody doing today?
Never better. How are you?
I'm doing good. Hey, first, Chuck, I want to thank you for the tickets you got me for this weekend.
That's great. That's great. Just kind of piss all of his friends off right now. I love it.
Yeah.
I know the injury report's coming out today, but it looks like we might get a couple back in our secondary. Our secondary, I feel, has been playing pretty good. If we get them back, I mean, it looks like there's going to be some pretty tough decisions to be made. I'll hang out and listen to you guys.
All right. Sounds like, Braxton and Clark are listed as questionable. And I would not be surprised to see either one of them play. In fact, I tend to think it's trending in that direction based on everything you see and hear. So, yeah, that helps. The thing that would help the most in this game would be keeping Texas A&M from running the ball, because that's what they're going to try to do. Whether it's Wegman, people think if Wegman plays, they're going to throw it all over the place. I don't believe that's going to happen. I don't think the Razorbacks believe that's going to happen. If Marcel Reed plays quarterback for them, we know it's not going to happen. If you can stop their run, it goes back to what we've talked about over and over and over again. When you make them throw, when you make them throw. Not, when they pass when they want to, but when you make them, can you get pressure on the quarterback? But the first order of business, if A&M can run the ball on you every play, they will. If you stop that, slow it down, put them in 3rd and long, you got a shot. But I'm going to tell you, if they get in 3rd and short, like UAB did, for example, it's going to be a long day because they've got the ability to run the ball and convert. They got to win first down on both sides of the ball.
Arkansas did a pretty good job last week against one of the better backs in the league. I was going to ask you going into this game, Chuck, what you thought, if you're A&M, how you attack Arkansas, but you just kind of answered that. So let me ask you this. What do we think of Arkansas's defense overall so far?
I think they've done a pretty good job of stopping the run, generally speaking. The UAB game, you look at the UAB game, and Dilfer said we thought we could run on them. But if you really look at it, they didn't really run on them. They were able to pick up 3 yards when they needed 2. They were able to pick up 4 yards when they needed 3. There were not chunk plays in the ground game for them by and large. I think Arkansas has been a pretty good run-stopping team. Now, Oklahoma State took advantage of some matchups in the second half, and their quarterback made some really good throws. I don't know if A&M's got a quarterback who can make the throws, frankly, that Oklahoma State's got. I don't know. He might. But I thought that's what happened in that game. But I don't think Arkansas's defense is bad at all. In fact, I think it's good enough you can win a lot of games.
Why do I feel better about this game than I did when Kevin Sumlin was the coach, than I did when Bobby Petrino was the OC or Jimbo Fisher was the head coach? Why do I feel better about this game? Bart?
Because they can't score.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Well, I was just going to say.
I saw Bart lean in.
I'm sorry.
And I thought,
interrupted.
Here's a moment.
I got you.
That Bart could have.
And I blew it. Sorry, Bart. I blew it for you.
The only problem is if you say it, when then Bart says it, it means nothing.
Yeah.
And
say it in a different way. Say it in a different way.
I was actually going to say something completely different.
Well, say it.
But you are correct, Chuck, I think.
That's really all I wanted to hear.
Yeah, I figured.
Now say it. Nothing else really matters.
Say it.
Because Arkansas has consistency in their program right now. Now, things might not have gone very well last year, but you've had the same head coach now for a while. There's consistency to the program. Texas A&M doesn't have that right now. They have a brand new head coach, Mike Elko. I think Mike Elko's a good coach. I think he'll probably have success at Texas A&M, but they don't have that culture in place like they do at Arkansas right now. And that gives you a chance to win. Here's the other thing. I think the Oklahoma State game, when we look back at this season, is going to have been a really important game for Arkansas, because I think they're going to be able to draw on experience from that game in their ability to close out close games. We know that's been a problem, especially recently for the Razorbacks. And I think they learned a lot from that game. We saw some of that at Auburn. We saw them able to close out that game. So if it's a tight game on Saturday against A&M, I like Arkansas to be able to finish and get the job done.
So I interviewed Cam Ball, defensive lineman, yesterday.
Isn't he great?
For the Hog Pod.
He's so much fun.
He is intelligent, great guy, going to have a barbecue business one day. Already got a side hustle barbecue. He's using his NIL money to buy like grills and ingredients to make barbecue for his friends.
He's a great kid.
Great kid. Here's what he said about the aftermath of the Oklahoma State game and how this group responded to it. Yeah, it's right here. It's playing.
Well said.
It's
very well said.
It's not up. It's not you. It's not me.
Randy, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You're on the Sonic Blast, Chuck. Go ahead.
Rick is in Lowell. Rick, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, Rick.
Thank you for those tickets again, and thank you for putting that relationship with the Jones family.
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
But no, just kidding.
He's gonna sit in Jones's box.
Love this.
He's gonna sit in Jones's box.
These are people who get it. I love it. I love it.
But I think with that the last 12 years we've hired some pretty horrible coaches. So twice in one morning, Chuck's going to be told he was right. But we had Brett Bielema, margaritas and flip flops, and then we had Chad, whatever his name was,
right.
And it just wasn't a good combination there for a while. But I think you're right. That secondary is going to be good. The consistency, Bart, you're right too this morning, and that consistency in the program. And I believe it's going to be a heck of a game this upcoming Saturday. So thanks for the show. Again, thanks for the tickets, Chuck.
You're welcome, man. Have a great time.
Have a good morning.
Enjoy that
you and the other 7 members of your family.
Yeah.
Enjoy your afternoon in the Jones box. Glad I was able to get that done for you.
That palace of a luxury suite.
Yeah.
That was I had a great setup to the clip and everything. And I just
you really did set it up well.
It's still there's nothing I can do.
You got a bad cord?
Oh, this is like communication to the quarterback. It's just not happening. It's just it's really sad. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to actually move forward.
Well, we're going to let Steve in Hot Springs bail us
you're
out.
You're going to have to probably carry the rest of the show.
Steve, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Great clip. Trust me, it was a great clip.
I know it was going to be good.
Hey, Steve, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Please understand, he dangled those tickets to Arlington in front of us. I couldn't go, but he hooked me up with the Tennessee game already, and I've got about 10 people coming to that one.
Yeah, I was glad to be able to help you out on that too.
I owe you one, buddy. I owe you one. Hey, I've got a 2-part. How many remaining defensive players are at A&M that Bobby practiced against? And that's where I'm going with the question. If there's quite a few, I'm sure he's going to light their fire. He knows their tendencies. I can't wait to sit back and watch what he does to them. I'll drop off.
No, hey, thanks for the call. People talked about DJ Durkin last week, knowing Petrino. I didn't really see any effects of that. Did you?
Yeah, no.
How much does that play into to this game? Petrino being there last year.
I think certain tendencies. Like, for example, I would think he might have a better idea of the tendencies of some of the offensive guys that he coached, as opposed to some of the defensive players on the other side of the ball. Because I'm going to tell you, I don't know how it was at Texas A&M. Jimbo Fisher was a head coach. I don't know. I know Bobby Petrino's practices were structured around the offense having success, and the defense. I'm not saying the defense wasn't encouraged to make plays, but I'm saying that the
Willie Robinson
offense,
got some tongue lashings.
The offense was given, they had free reign of the field. They had free reign of the field. I guess what I'm trying to say.
Boogie.
It was centered around. It wasn't.
That was Willie Robinson language.
But my point is I don't know that Petrino paid a whole lot of attention to those defensive backs on the other side. I think he was watching his guys, and I think that may be where his knowledge might be more advantageous.
I do feel like Arkansas goes into this game as the better offense, and there's been so many explosive plays in that building in this series. And maybe that's why I feel better about the game than some of the ones of the past.
Petrino had success there. Now, it was obviously right before A&M came into the league, but there were some track meets down there. I mean, I remember when Tyler Wilson threw for 510 yards. So, I mean, there were some massive track meets down there, and I'm not saying this game's going to be like that. If you want to know the truth, I'm inclined to think it'll be a lot more like the Auburn game than maybe like some of the shootout games we've seen down there. But I would like to see Taylor Green play on this surface, and I'm looking forward to that.
How many games has Arkansas just kind of blown there? Over the years, missed
found
field
some
goals.
ways to lose.
Yeah,
got screwed a time or two.
Lot of that. And I think that maybe changes this year. 877-377-6963. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. We'll get to more of your thoughts coming up on a Think About It Thursday.
You never know what just happened to him that day. He could have accidentally dialed up an ED hotline while trying to call one of his hookers.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Fayetteville Auto Park has been Northwest Arkansas's premier automotive dealer for a long time. There's a reason for that. It starts with great brands: Acura, Chevrolet, Honda, Toyota. Plus, they've got a huge pre-owned inventory. They've got an on-site collision center. And that really is what makes them your one-stop automotive headquarters. The best brands, the best people, the best service, and the best selection. Whatever your automotive needs, Fayetteville Auto Park.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
You hear that? You hear that?
Back to Safe Sports Radio.
We'd like our program to reflect our state, the great state of Arkansas. Loyal, tough, hardworking. One of our goals every year is to make the state of Arkansas proud of the football team. In my office is a sign that says you're not coming to play for the University of Arkansas, you're coming to play for the state of Arkansas.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adventure Dave will be attempting his greatest stunt yet. He will jump over 100 boats, ATVs, cars, and trucks, all at Adventure Oklahoma in Roland, brought to you by Auto Finders. Here he comes now. Adventure Dave, why did you choose Adventure Oklahoma for this stunt?
Well, Tom, Adventure Oklahoma is your one-stop shop for adventure. Plus, no one else would let me jump over their boats and ATVs.
It's the All Cylinders sales event going on right now. Rebates up to $1,000 and financing as low as 0.99% on select CF Moto side-by-sides and ATVs with approved credit. Visit cfmotousa.com. CF Moto, ride without compromise.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a date with Destiny.
Yes, and what a jump it'll be.
No, the jump is tomorrow. This is Destiny.
See y'all later.
Well, until then, visit Adventure Oklahoma in Roland, brought to you by Auto Finders. AutoFindersOK.com.
Your journey starts here.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Walk-Ons is always a win, whether it's for a post-game celebration, drinks with the crew, or an easy weeknight dinner. Walk-Ons has you covered. Scratch-made dishes, wall-to-wall TVs, craft beers and cocktails. Dig into their mouth-watering menu items like po' boys, gumbo, and voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers and fresh salads. Find your nearest location in Rogers, Fayetteville, Fort Smith, Conway, and Little Rock, or order online or in the app. Walk-On Sports Bistro for the win.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Good morning to this great fan base. And I'm still walking on sunshine, baby, because I knew we had a team with a God-given talent to go in, woo, to Jordan Hare. And what do? In front of a sold-out capacity Tiger Den crowd, we leave Jordan Hare, woo, winners, baby.
The Waves. Katrina and the Waves coming back out of the break there. There's nothing more frustrating than a computer that won't work, huh?
I don't even
Bo's
I don't
over
want
here.
to talk about it.
Bo's over here going nuts right now.
I don't want to talk about it.
Did you reboot it? Did you follow my suggestion from the very beginning? He's so pissed right now.
But
He's going to throw that coffee at me here in a minute.
It didn't help.
Is it your first time with a laptop?
Listen, man. I'm about to go Nate Allen on this thing like you have never seen.
It's so funny.
The great Nate Allen is legendary for dog cussing a laptop like nobody's ever talked to a laptop. Like no human would talk to another. Like no coach would talk to a player. The laptop has felt the wrath.
And when the laptop,
and I need him here right now.
And when the laptop finally wins, you throw it across the room as though that's going to help.
Yeah.
You know, that's the ultimate victory for the laptop.
It does bring to mind when you have how we take things for granted, like your coach is in a game and you got all this stuff going on. Now you got communication to the quarterback. You got communication to a linebacker on defense. When that stuff breaks down or you can't communicate with the guys upstairs in the coach's box, I mean, it wreaks havoc. You can't prepare for that.
I'll tell you what you can't
prepare for this clip that I don't even know what to do. It was the whole show, Chuck. The whole show was built around this clip. And now that I've said that, I can't even play it because it won't even live up to half of that.
You guys give me hell every day because I don't know how to work things. You give me a hard time. Even I know how to reboot a computer. Reboot that damn thing and play the cut.
I don't want to reboot the entire computer. I just wanted to reboot the Adobe Audition that it plays
it doesn't
out of.
work that way. Reboot the
whole
thing. That's right. Turn it off. Turn it back on.
Okay. All right.
See what happens.
My whole life's going to go. My checking account's going to go down the drain.
Well, it
I don't
doesn't
know any of
matter.
my passwords.
Well,
I can't reboot. Reboot things.
I'm not saying clear all your.
When you reboot it, just all goes
you
away.
turn it off, turn it back on. It's easy.
I've got more applications open on my computer now than people within a 5-mile radius of here.
Nobody has more things open on their computer at one time than Bo.
Sterling's on the line. Sterling, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey guys.
Hey Sterling.
I hope you're having a wonderful day.
Well, I'm not, Sterling.
Bo's having a bad morning.
Oh, that's good. Hey, whatever you do, do not give in and throw your laptop out or damage it. Don't give in. Fight it out. Hold on to the rope. Don't give in.
Thanks,
Do
Sterling.
not damage something that you would have to replace with your own money.
That's good advice, Sterling. Winning advice. Sterling.
That is winning.
But when your computer's messing up, you don't listen to winning advice. It's just not how the world works, man.
Take a breath, though.
That's right.
That their emotion gets us all.
That's true.
It gets us all. Chuck, I know you're a Cowboy fan.
Not anymore.
Playing tonight.
Not anymore.
Playing tonight. Cowboys playing tonight.
Are they?
Yeah, John. Are they? You've got it, sir. You've got it in your calendar.
No, I'm not watching it. I'm going to bed early tonight.
I don't believe that.
What do you think about him, Sterling? What's going on?
What's going on? The main thing, the number one thing is that we can't stop the run in the A gap. Our tackles get destroyed, and our run fits are terrible. And I don't know if now Parsons tells us that they play hero ball. So that means people are out of position. If that's the case, I hope they're playing hero ball because that's fixable. Our tackles getting destroyed. I don't see that how you can fix that. I can't blame that on Zimmer or even Jerry for that matter. I mean, you would never pick a guy on your team that's going to get pushed 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. They we're going to take the line of scrimmage all the time against the Cowboys, and it's just freaking ridiculous. So I'm hoping it is hero ball. I hope it is people that's getting out of run fits and trying to do their own thing instead of just being physically manhandled. And that's what it looks like most to me. If it's just the run fit, that's fixable. If it's just because we're soft and can't stand up to the competition is another.
Yeah.
But in this game tonight, this is the only game I'm going to put on totally on Dak before it starts. Because you have seen that your defense is troublesome. You have seen that you're going to have to put up 30 to 40 points. Go do it. Now, if he puts up 35 or more and we lose, he's off the hook. And I don't care when they come. Even if it comes in the fourth quarter, Chuck. You know, a lot of people like to call that empty calories. Those points in the fourth quarter. One thing I know about empty calories is this, Chuck. If you get too many of them, you still get fat. So I don't care how they get to 35 or 40. As long as they put up that many points.
Sterling's betting the over tonight. That's what this is all about. Sterling's got the over bet. Thanks, Sterling.
I want to just go on record right now and guarantee a Cowboys victory tonight.
Really? Yeah. Well, they're playing the New York Giants. They always beat the Giants.
I don't have any real insight for you other than they got to win this game.
Really?
And it just feels like
that is the sort of analysis you don't get everywhere.
It's not. I mean, you don't get it anywhere, and the reason is because nobody else would take it.
See, actually, Sterling was spot on some things. I don't know if you saw this. Rex Ryan said he could fix the Cowboys' defense in a day.
Well, he said that,
and he offered
to.
Well, he offered to do it. He said, "I wanted the job, and they wouldn't pay up." So they ended up with Zimmer. I will say this one thing that Sterling brought up. I won't belabor the point. But in the NFL, too often you think of a great defense as a defense that goes and harasses the quarterback. And that's a big part of it. I'm not saying that's not important. But Dallas, they're porous against the run. And fixing, you always hear people say, well, it's run fits. That's fixable. Well, sometimes you get halfway through the season and for some reason it still hadn't been fixed. And I sort of think that's where they're headed.
Well, we have that conversation going on with Arkansas's offensive line right now.
You got that Campbell.
And that has to change. No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were getting ready to play it.
No. I was going to take a call. But then I think we need all to take a deep breath and then come back and power on the Chuck and Bo Show. It's 7:44. Good morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
All right, well, congratulations. Hey, Chuck, I made some good calls today. You sure did.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly, local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
Razorback fans, country music legend Alan Jackson is performing at Bud Walton Arena on September 28th as part of his farewell tour to cap off his Hall of Fame career. Come and join us for the first ever public concert at the Basketball Palace of Mid-America here in Fayetteville for a once-in-a-lifetime musical experience. Visit ArkansasRazorbacks.com and get your tickets today.
Fayetteville Auto Park has been Northwest Arkansas's premier automotive dealer for a long time. There's a reason for that. It starts with great brands: Acura, Chevrolet, Honda, Toyota. Plus, they've got a huge pre-owned inventory. They've got an on-site collision center. And that really is what makes them your one-stop automotive headquarters. The best brands, the best people, the best service, and the best selection. Whatever your automotive needs, Fayetteville Auto Park.
With Oaklawn Sports, the action never stops and the season is never over. It's now easier than ever to wager on your favorite sports all year long. Go from football to basketball to baseball to golf. Bet on what you want, when you want, with the brand you trust. Oaklawn Sports even offers ways to bet on cricket, rugby, table tennis, and more. If it's a sport, chances are you can wager on it. Plus, it's now simpler to deposit and withdraw money from your account. Bet all year long with Oaklawn Sports, Arkansas's best sports betting app. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising
after the Oklahoma State loss. We was driving back to Fayetteville. We was just talking.
Selling homes. I'd recommend it to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Did I hear my broadcast partner talking about somebody slipping in his DM?
Are you looking for a great deal on a previously owned vehicle but want to avoid high-pressure sales? If so, you need to visit Edwards Auto Sales in Roland. For over 30 years, Ernie Edwards and his staff have helped folks from Arkansas and Oklahoma River Valley buy a quality vehicle and offer a buy here, pay here program as part of their services. Some restrictions may apply. Come visit Edwards Auto Center newly remodeled facility, 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on your right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
Arkansas is special. Our people are honest and hardworking. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm is pure Arkansas. We were raised here, we live here, and we're straight shooters. Unfortunately, out-of-state lawyers who care nothing about Arkansas are advertising for your legal business. They don't understand that you don't hand Arkansans a pile of cow dung and try to tell us it's a rose. Don't be just a number. Call the Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
We have a playoff in college
Are there
football.
too many dorks voting in the top 25?
I'm not
poll?
going to be disparaging about geeks and dorks and whatever.
I didn't say geeks.
But these guys don't watch the games. They don't. They don't watch the games. You can't watch all these games. And by the way, if you spent 5 minutes with some of these people, have you read a newspaper? With all due respect to our local media, who does a great job. There are people all over the country that can't get stats or names right.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Yeah.
The Geek Squad right now. If the Geek Squad is in the vicinity and you want to stop by and fix the computer, that'd be great. Clay Moser, former Razorback basketball coach, texted in and said his heart hurts for us because he also cannot fix it.
You know what the issue is?
Technically,
we need more kids around here. We need kids.
That's coming.
Children.
This show's
I mean, we need
Listen,
like grandchildren and stuff to come in and like fix these things.
Yeah. The show's growing, Chuck. Like we're evolving.
Evidently
we're
not
growing.
fast enough.
Not fast enough. But hopefully in time to be 4-1 coming out of the weekend.
That'd be good.
877-377-6963. I mentioned earlier we were going to kind of get into how Arkansas's done since A&M has joined the league, but Chuck shut it down. So I won't even bother.
How did I shut it down?
You just said the only thing that's happened is Arkansas's had some bad coaches.
Well, they've had bad
coaches that
teams.
didn't work out.
Yeah.
And that's why the record's the record.
Bielema is not a bad coach. It didn't work out. It worked out for a couple of years, got a new contract. We thought we were good when we beat a 6-6 Texas team, rolled the mint truck or rolled the armored truck back up and unloaded a bunch of cash, and it all went to hell. Yeah. And that's what happened.
It did.
And then they hired Chad Morris,
and it kept going.
Just to be honest, we barely resembled a football program by the time it was over. And
he had a nice house, though.
He did.
He
lot of room to roam. A lot of room to roam.
Lived in it it was actually AT&T Stadium. If you want to,
do you think he ever
he lived there by himself
from room to room? Like you're in a big house by yourself. You think you just walk from room to room, look around?
I would not know how to handle that. I could not walk around in a 10,000, 12,000 square.
I've not sat in this room in 3 weeks. I think I'll go in here.
Maybe I should go in there and think. See how we can get to 3 wins. David's in Searcy. David, you're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Hey, David.
I'd like to, first of all, y'all were talking about the verbal agreements, written agreements. Let me tell you something. 44 years ago, I was seeking a verbal agreement, and she or this person
we going down this road again.
Would not go for the verbal agreement, so I ended up signing the contract. And let me tell you, guys out there, when you sign the contract, it's done. Later on, I contacted an agent or lawyer, and I said, "Can you get me out of this contract?" And I said, "I'd like to take my talents elsewhere." And after several calls, he finally quit. He said, "Just don't call me." He said, "There are no bids." And I said, "Okay." So, guys, when you sign the contract, you have signed the contract. The reason I called, I just want to say thank you. Life is terrible. There are terrible things that happen in life. I've had to bury my first grandson and both of our children.
Oh, man.
And life gets tough. I give it 0 stars. I wouldn't recommend that to anyone. And when I pour that first cup of coffee, and you guys get to talking, it's like having breakfast with your friends. I know y'all don't know me, but I still feel like y'all are friends.
Well, we feel like we
when
do.
I was getting a 12-year-old learning challenge young man ready for school, and Eddie gave that first, woo, let me tell you, I laugh out loud every morning. Because he's real. He's not putting on. He's the real deal. And I made a vow to myself that I will not get so worked up over Razorback football games to where I'm so nervous I can't even enjoy the telecast. I'm going to enjoy the football game. It's a great opportunity for us, a diversion from life. I'm going to enjoy the ball games from now on. And thanks for your show, guys, because it has greatly improved the quality of my life. Lord bless both of us.
Well, thank you, David. That's a very, very, very nice thing to say. Thank you.
I have chills.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything else to say.
No, it's really not anything you can say after
I
that.
really appreciate that.
No, it's very, very
and we
kind.
really appreciate
very,
him.
very kind.
There's a lot to think about right there.
It really is.
We're going to talk to the play-by-play voice of the Aggies coming up.
One of my favorite guys. One of the most naturally positive people I've ever met in my life is Andrew Monaco. And I mean that in a good, you know how positive I am. You know how I love positive people. I mean, you two guys, look at you. But Andrew, seriously, is one of my favorite people in the league.
Chuck and Bo Show is brought to you by First Security Bank, Pasco Air Plumbing and Electric, the Fayetteville Auto Park, Flight by Yingling, Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. 7:56 on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
Man, I've got some good news. Sweatinum Cosmetic is not just for females. Turns out us guys want to look and feel good too. Why be tired, lethargic, and overweight when we don't have to be? Sure, diet and exercise matter, but there could also be a lot more going on. For example, low testosterone is a real thing among many adult males, not just the old guys. I've heard about the weight loss shots and the low T ads before, and I've been skeptical. But then I stopped by my friend's office, Dr. Jeff Sweatinum. He showed me around that first-class facility and said, here's what we're doing for guys. It's called the Sweatinum Edge. You make an appointment, get a free evaluation covering 4 potential issues: hormones, weight loss, hair loss, and skin. Find out where you are and decide if treatment is right for you. Log on to sweatinumcosmetic.com, sweatinumcosmetic.com, and click on the Sweatinum Edge or call 479-966-4174 and tell them you heard about the Sweatinum Edge on the Chuck and Bo Show.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
A great pair. Really honored that you guys are doing this, listening over here in Jonesboro.
The fall inventory reduction sale now through Monday at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. You'll see the cars. There's over 500 in stock. And Adam, their prices are starting at under $6,000.
Listen, we've got a balloon of inventory here just left over from the summer. If you're looking for a vehicle, there's no reasonable offer refused. We're looking to sell a lot of cars here this week, 200 plus cars. So if we have to take a $1,500 loser, it's not a big deal. We want to move as many cars. We want to turn our inventory. Guys, if you're looking for a vehicle, this is the biggest sale of the year. You got to get off the couch, come there and come see us. Test drive, get a free four-wheeler. Come down here. Cars low as $59.95. Get your state sales tax paid. I got lifted stuff. I got lowered stuff. I got brand new stuff. I got a brand new body style Enclave, brand new body style Acadia. Come down here. This is the biggest sale of the year.
And always more for your trade and 50 lenders on hand to make sure you get financed. It's the fall inventory reduction sale. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine, a high in the upper 70s to near 80. We'll start to see some changes moving away tonight. Area flow pressure could touch off just a few showers. Our overnight lows will drop down into the upper 50s. Rainfall moves in from Helene on Friday, our high in the low to mid 70s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for fine wines, specialty beers, and liquor.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play. Like North America's #1 home fire safety brand, Kidda. Because on a day full of football sounds you love, like fight songs, roaring crowds, and your favorite commentators, like me, Kirk Herbstreit, the last sound you want to hear is... Defend your game time with Kidda and the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Based on total household installations as of December 2023.
You're listening to ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
You sound like a participation trophy, Dad.
Have you been to the River Valley's only multi-sport facility? Then let's hang out. The Hangout in Fort Smith is the only sports facility that offers indoor tennis and pickleball, indoor and outdoor basketball, and has now added multiple soccer fields. Soccer leagues are forming soon. Did you know the Hangout also has an 8,000 square foot fitness center with bar, yoga, HIIT, and Pilates classes? The Hangout, 5400 Gary Street, or thehangoutfs.com. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text ALL to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text ALL to 321-321. That's ALL to 321-321.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. Here at ESPN Arkansas, we rely on Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on the radio station when we're not here. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your stuff. Guardtronic, license E50.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
Does that really help you on
Yes.
different colors? Or is that one of those things where you just get carried away with your project and it takes you back to like your Clarksville high
I
school
do
days?
enjoy coloring.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie
right.
about that. I'm sure you remember. I'm a stickler for staying between the lines.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
That was a call play, and I called it.
A show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm ready to roll right now, Bo.
Can you believe we're doing this? This brings just like old times.
This is getting ridiculous, Bo Mattingly.
Northwest Arkansas is growing. It deserves an intelligent sports radio.
Two ball play guys with a face for radio.
Like another excuse for this jackwater.
That's right.
Presented by First Security Bank. Why Kirk Realtors, the Griffin Company. Pasco, Air, Plumbing, and Electric. Flight by Yingling and Fayetteville Auto Park. And now, Chuck and Bo.
It's 2 minutes after the hour. So if you had to be there at 8, you're late. Which brings me to what national day it is. It's National Situational Awareness Day. It's also National Pancake Day. But National Situational Awareness Day, bringing to mind what day is not National Situational
situations.
I thought you were going to say what day is not National Pancake Day.
The Hogs. Oh, that's a Bart conversation.
Bart loves him some pancakes.
Pancakes. Hey, you got a pancake? Anybody get a pancake?
Pancakes are delicious.
Looking for some. There'll be some pancakes handed out in this upcoming A&M game. Arkansas in Arlington to play the Aggies at 2:30.
Beautiful.
That's a professional broadcaster right there.
That guy knows what he's doing.
I've been with Chuck on this show for 4 weeks now, and look how he's rubbed off on me. Look at that. I was just picking up all kinds of cues.
Brilliant. You know, we were talking about coloring a moment ago, and that's what I do when I make my spotting boards out. Andrew Monaco is the voice of the Texas A&M Aggies. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. Andrew joins us on the program right now. Andrew, first, welcome. Thanks for getting up and joining us. And I guess we're all looking forward to going to Dallas. I think there's going to be a big crowd Saturday. How many Aggies you think are going to be there?
I think Chuck, there's going to be a lot. I really see. Not just because it's the last one. Both teams playing well. Yeah, it is going to be the last one. It's convenient for everyone. It's a chance for alums to go there, a chance for recruits to go there. I like what Mike Elko said the other day to his team, even though I don't know if it does with the fans, but it's possible. He goes, look, for the players, if you grew up a Cowboy fan, hey, you get to play in Cowboy Stadium. And if you hate the Cowboys, you can stick it to Jerry one more time. So.
That's great. That's a great line from an A&M head coach.
That's pretty good right there.
That's going to be fun.
So how's it different? I mean, we've been through coaching changes here before, and everything is different when you've got a new guy in there. What's it like with Elko?
Different but similar, right, Chuck? When you have, the DC here, the defensive coordinator for 4 years, familiar with Mike, and he was familiar with us as broadcasters. He is coaching some players that he recruited. He's coaching some players who are still here from the first time that he is here. So that's what's kind of helped him, and he knows Texas A&M. So I think that's what helps him. What's different is, you know what? He left and was very successful for 2 years at Duke, and now he's the head coach. We were just talking about this last night on his coach's show. Mike was always in the booth as a defensive coordinator. Didn't want to be on the field. So I asked him, "What do you like? What's it like on the field now in his third year?" He said, with your guys, you're so focused on pumping them up that not that you forget the offensive side, because you said it's situational awareness day. You have to know that. He said, but he's more of coaching the coaches on the sideline. And obviously you have to have a feel for everything. So as opposed to just the guys, your defense, and him being a safety guy, those guys as well, you kind of coach the coaches on the sideline. He's adjusted to it, but it took a little bit of time. For the team itself, Chuck, I'd have to say accountability. I think that slipped the last couple of years. And Mike brought that and really taught what it's like to be a teammate and a good teammate. There was a player who had transferred. He was in the portal, but before he did, and he found out that you're no longer allowed to be late to a meeting. I think this was on Mike's first day when he took over after the Texas Bowl. Like 1 minute late, and that door was locked. And Mike said, "You know what? It's not going to be the same as it was." And I think the 8-month buildup, one, him being familiar, but realizing, and he was real honest, this was a 12-13 team the last 2 years. We can keep doing the same thing. We're going to get the same results. So that's the thing. But I think it's really nice for a lot of us. We've known Mike Elko, and we're very happy. We were sorry to see him leave, but as I told him, he had to leave in order to come back because of the success he had at Duke.
Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, with us on the Chuck and Bo Show. We obviously talk about Arkansas, and what they're struggling with, what they're doing well, how they're evolving week to week. How would you sum up where the Aggies are right now, Andrew?
Absolute work in progress. Like, thrilled that they're 3-1, thrilled that they had a chance to win all 4 games. They had a shot against Notre Dame. I still think it's a work in progress. Like, I love what Mike did in the off season. And I mean, since he got here in December, what he had to do was early signing period, transfer portal in and out, because when you make a coaching change, you've got those 30 days to go in. Coaching staff, working with the Texas High School Coaches Association, all of that. Understanding who he has, can you fill in some gaps that you have? You do that with the transfer portal or with some of these recruits. And I think, the expectations, right? Everybody's like, oh, brand new coach, we're winning a national championship. Yeah, you got to pump the brakes sometimes. Not that that's not a goal. I don't get it. But I see them improving for the most part week to week. They did have a shot against Notre Dame. Did what they had to do against McNeese, and it was McNeese. The Florida win was big because it got that bugaboo off, right? Not having won a true road game since 2021 against Missouri. And there were some good things, but then I didn't think they played to their standard last week. It was a win where a coach can be a little bit upset with what was going on, but they also did some good things. So you can see that improvement. You can see them coming together as well. You can also see them overcoming some injuries, and then who's going to be the players who have to step up, right? We'll use the cliche, next man up. Well, you've had to have that, not just for Reuben Owens, who's gone for the season doing that at camp. This is happening in game. And I think because of the preparation of Mike Elko, now the players are starting to understand this is why we lifted all summer, right? He said a player did not miss a lift this summer. He goes, that's never happened to him. And now you see Le'Veon Moss is a more confident runner for what he's doing. You're seeing the versatility of an offensive line that Koli Fayu went out as center, and TJ Shanahan came in, and then TJ's out for this week. And it's good that Coley is back, and Cam Dewberry has played different spots. And on the back end, they've been able to do it. So I think there's that understanding. I think the light bulb is starting to burn a little brighter. He wants the consistency. I think that was his biggest thing from last week. Yes, you get a win. Totally get it. You never give those back. But I think he's trying to hammer home the consistency of play to play for both the offense, the defense, and the special teams.
Let's talk about quarterbacks for a minute. Connor Wegman's been hurt. Marcel Reed's. I don't know what's going to happen Saturday. Maybe you do in terms of who's going to play. I wonder, though, sometimes the fan base has a favorite. There's a guy they rally around. Which one of these guys do the Aggie fans want to see the most?
The backup, the one who's not playing, right?
Exactly.
Isn't that the greatest job in sports? Because here it is, right? Well, if Marcel played against Notre Dame, we'd have beat the Irish. Well, if Connor had come in, we wouldn't have struggled with Bowling Green. It's amazing to me with that. Look, Connor wins the job. And you guys also understand this. It's rare that a player loses a job in a camp. Someone wins it, right? It's the competition. That competition continues every week. That's what Mike was trying to let everybody know. Game time decision. Connor's not playing because he's got a sore shoulder. Until the soreness is out, then he gets to be quarterback, right? So who's next? It's Marcel Reed. But people think, well, you won with Marcel Reed. Yeah, you did, because the players played for him, right? And he's a talented young quarterback who has the possibility of making just his third start. We put so much so soon, right? What's really interesting is great set of quarterbacks, I think, really good, a good set of quarterbacks coming back that you inherit. There's not a ton of experience. There's not a ton of SEC experience because of injuries, or we'll talk about Jalen Henderson. Yes, he started last year, but he didn't play a lot at Fresno, but he has that experience of reps going up to a game. Same thing with Marcel Reed. He's got the reps in practice, pressed into duty late in games, pressed into duty after the first play at the Texas Bowl. When Jalen Henderson breaks his arm, he's got to play. Connor Wigman gets hurt in the Auburn game. Like, you have good quarterbacks. They have to get that experience. There's only one way to get experience. Go take those snaps in a game. Go see a defense you haven't seen before. Go see something, because coaches are just so good at disguising, and players. Like, to me, Notre Dame was comfortable in their defense under Al Golden. That's what I think this Jay Bateman defense is going to get to. Talented, but once they get more comfortable playing together. And I think teams get comfortable with their quarterback. So, but Connor wins the battle. I think people were surprised. I think they assumed Jalen Henderson was number 2 because he was the next up after Connor and Max Johnson got hurt last year. But Marcel Reed is that talented. So yeah, and then when the quarterback loses, well, the other guy would have been better. It's a no-win battle when it comes to that. I think the favorite would be, hey, Connor is familiar. We've seen Connor. Connor's from right down the road in Bridgeland High School, so we see that. Marcel is exciting, dual threat, can throw the ball, can scramble. You have that. So I think it's funny, Chuck, the way you say that. Fans do pick their favorite and then kind of gets mad when the other guy does well, or the other guy comes back from injury and may be the quarterback. I've never understood it. I always look at how do the players respond to their quarterback. Can you see that joy for one another and stuff like that?
Andrew, we'll get you out of here with the most basic question of all. What do you think this game comes down to?
Man, it always seems to come down to a field goal or something. Right. I'm gonna say this, and talking with Mike Elko, if I may cheat and say 2 things. First of all, it's a line of scrimmage game. I know all SEC games are. I think it's even more important when A&M plays Arkansas, a line of scrimmage game. But I'm gonna focus on third down. I think Arkansas has been outstanding, one of the best in the country, staying on the field on third down. And this defense getting off the field on third down is huge. Mike Elko is a big, big practitioner of that. He knows your offense has to stay on the field on third down, continue drives. It's either a field goal or a touchdown. At least you're not punting, or you can flip the field. But getting off on third down, this is where the Aggie defense has been pretty good for the most part. He said, except for the second half against McNeese when there were second and third teamers in there, that's good. I think third down might be a very big key in this game.
Interesting. Well, we look forward to seeing it play out. If Aggie fans can listen to Andrew Monaco call it on the Texas A&M radio network, and Hog fans will hear Chuck call it on the Razorback radio network.
Yeah,
so thanks.
Aggie fans, please don't listen to Chuck because then you won't come back to listen to me.
Hey, it's fun.
Thank you, Andrew.
It's fun when you're on a drive listening to Sirius XM and they have the blitz and they just bounce around game to game. And you can always tell like who the team's announcers are. Am I listening to like the home team announcers or the other guys talking?
You pretty much know. Yeah. You pretty much know when you got the homers.
No, it's good.
Andrew, thank you very much.
Chuck, I like doing that because I like to text our friends. Usually something inappropriate over the course of the
Yeah. There's usually a text or two flying around. That's for sure.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Andrew.
See you
Appreciate the
Saturday.
time. Andrew Monaco is the voice of the Texas A&M Aggies.
Yeah, you look over there, and the other guy will be texting somebody during the timeout. And I'm over there texting somebody during the timeout. Then everybody wonders why it's so crappy when you come back on because we've been texting.
That's right. You gotta get focused. Stay focused. You can't be distracted by that phone. I see your coffee's empty. When we go to break, are you gonna be first to the coffee maker, or can I get some?
No, I think I'm gonna let you go first this time. You were very gracious the last time and got the hell out of my way. But I don't expect that every time.
It's the Chuck and Bo Show, 8:16 on a Thursday. Good morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
First Security is about more than great banking. Yes, we provide the financial expertise, digital tools, and everything else you need when you need it. But we also go all in on local support with friendly professionals, plus convenient locations all across the state. Because we believe personal banking is better banking. Visit fsbank.com for details. That's fsbank.com for friendly local banking with First Security. Bank better. Member FDIC.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If you followed my radio career, you remember they were partners on the original sports rap radio program over 20 years ago. We've done business together from an advertising perspective, but more importantly, they've been my partners in buying and selling homes. I'd recommend them to anybody. They're in Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and in Branson. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, turning houses into homes since 1978.
Man, I've got some good news. Sweating Cosmetic is not just for females. Turns out us guys want to look and feel good too. Why be tired, lethargic, and overweight when we don't have to be? Sure, diet and exercise matter, but there can also be a lot more going on. For example, low testosterone is a real thing among many adult males, not just the old guys. I've heard about the weight loss shots and the low T ads before, and I've been skeptical. But then I stopped by my friend's office, Dr. Jeff Sweatnam. He showed me around that first-class facility and said, here's what we're doing for guys. It's called the Sweatnam Edge. You make an appointment, get a free evaluation covering 4 potential issues: hormones, weight loss, hair loss, and skin. Find out where you are and decide if treatment is right for you. Log on to SweatnamCosmetic.com, SweatnamCosmetic.com, and click on the Sweatnam Edge, or call 479-966-4174 and tell them you heard about the Sweatnam Edge on the Chuck and Bo Show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
And Hog Noxious, our listeners just don't let us down. He said, Chuck, explain it to them. Smash or trash by saying swipe right or left.
Over $11,000 off on remaining 2023 GMC Sierras, or up to $7,000 off on remaining GMC Yukon XLs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. These are the largest factory discounts in years, so hurry before they're gone. Plus up to $6,500 off on in-stock 2024 GMC Sierras. Conquer the road with confidence in a GMC Sierra from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hi, this is Lindsay White with White Office Machines. For over 90 years, my family's been serving the greater Fort Smith region with the image industry's newest technologies, as well as providing superior customer service through long-term business relationships. As the area's only authorized Kyocera document solutions dealer, White Office Machines provides the best value with high-speed copiers and the latest multifunction printers. Stop by our office in downtown Fort Smith or in Russellville. Follow us on Facebook or go to whiteoffice.com.
White Office Machines since 1929.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show. Back to Save Sports Radio.
Yes, sir.
Andrew Monaco. He's that enthusiastic when you just talk to him off the air. He's one of those really supremely positive people. And I mean that in a good way.
Likable fella. Reminds me a lot of you, Chuck.
Well,
a lot like you.
We have different personalities. Let's just
but likable similarity.
Well, I don't know.
You got that in common.
I don't know.
I'm here to tell you. I ran a poll just the other day to see if this was working.
Really?
And it came out Chuck's likable.
Good deal.
We know that much.
That's what the focus group said?
That's what the focus group said.
Hey, we talked
about a meeting with the Bobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. Yeah, very good reference.
Yeah.
It flew right over me. We talk about Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company, a lot. It's really the people that make the company. I mean, they're in the business of turning houses into homes. That is what they do. But it's the people that make it work. Amy Seeley's one of those people. She works in their Bentonville office. What you would call a real estate veteran. She's been around a while and highly successful, and it's because of her attention to detail. Not everyone pays attention to the details. Lots of people see the big picture, but putting the details into practice are what makes it work, and that's what she does. I'm looking at client testimonials right now for Amy. Knowledgeable, understood what we were looking for, put our trust in her, listen to us. That's what a real estate professional does, and that's what you always get with Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. It's been my experience, and I think it'll be your experience too. Northwest Arkansas, Washington, and Benton counties. They've got an office in Fort Smith. They're in Branson. Now, they've got a wide selection of homes, and you can check them out at WeichertGriffin.com. And they have been turning houses into homes since 1978.
About an hour ago, we had a call talking about the importance of the Oklahoma State game and how it could be a positive for this team. And maybe Bart made the point about the call. I don't remember. It was an hour ago. And I was really frustrated because we had this great clip from Cam Ball, who I interviewed yesterday for the Hog Pod. And, as the hour's gone on, in my mind, the clip has gotten even better. And my computer wouldn't work, still doesn't work. Bart tried to fix it. He couldn't, which means it's unfixable.
Yeah, it's broken.
So I'm gonna have a meeting in the parking lot with the Geek Squad. We're gonna start tailgating at about 3:00 this afternoon.
I thought you were gonna say with a baseball bat.
Well, that's true too. That's another Office Space moment. Yeah. But anyhow, let's go to this clip from Cam Ball. This is a look at how
much
from the inside. We're on the outside. From the inside of the football building, here's how the players seem to be reacting to each other, and that Oklahoma State loss was a part of that.
I was on the bus with a couple teammates after the Oklahoma State loss, and we was driving back to Fayetteville, and we was just talking, and we was just like, it wasn't a coaching thing. It wasn't the coach's fault. It was us. It was the players. Like, we got to hold ourselves accountable. We got to do this better, do that better. And then we came out and won next week, and then we won again. So.
Yeah, I thought after that game, the way the game was lost, if you want to say it, or they won, however you want to look at it, you guys had every opportunity to win that game. And coming out of a game like that, man, it's easy to find out if you're together as a team. Yeah. Well, what would you learn about your teammates? What did they learn about you?
I learned that we can take accountability. Versus last year, it wasn't no cussing each other out. It wasn't no fussing at each other. We knew what the problem was. And we knew that we had to go back to work Monday and fix it. So that's just like normally Sundays is an optional lift. So you don't have to come in on Sundays. But majority of the team, to my knowledge, was in there that next day because we knew that we had a problem that we had to fix, and we was going to be the only solution.
Yeah.
The coaches, you know, they did their part. They had the game plan. They implemented. We had a good week of practice. We just had to finish, and we had to capitalize as players.
Give me the feeling coming out of the Auburn win and what that does to motivate this team.
Man, it was a great feeling, man. I can tell you. And then especially for me, you know, Auburn is like an hour and a half away from Atlanta. So that's about the closest thing I'm going to have to a home game. I have family members in Montgomery, Alabama, too, as well. So it was a great feeling, man. But I want to say the 24-hour rule came into play. You know, it was all cheers and happy and everything. But we know we can put a good game together, and we know that we can win. So now it's just taking a step further and doing it consistently.
Wasn't that a great clip?
It really was. It's worth waiting for.
Really nothing left to say.
Nah,
no, the context of it really was about the difference between last year's locker room and this year's locker room. And we'll see how the season plays out and develops and as more adversity comes and all those types of things. But we've talked about the vibe of this team is different.
It's the most important place for a team, for any team. The locker room's the most important place, I think. You see the result. Obviously, we watch the games, but it's a direct result. Everything you see is a direct result of all the things you don't see. And if you have a locker room where cliques develop, where blame is placed, you're in for a disaster. And I will say this about this football program for the last 5 years. And I can't say this about every coach we've had, just to be real honest. I know the record has not been everything that everyone would want it to be, but this is a coach that has never one single moment, I think, did not have the majority of the players in that room playing for him. I do think at the end of last season, the evidence was pretty ample that there were some issues. But I think a lot of those issues have been dealt with. Those guys aren't here anymore, is the bottom line. And it's the most important place.
Couldn't agree more. And another thing I've been trying to get to for the better part of an hour, Chuck, since we're catching up here, is the Arkansas record overall and in the league since A&M joined the league.
It's not good.
2012 was when A&M joined the league. Back then, there was a lot of conversation about whether A&M coming into the league would help or hurt Arkansas. You don't think it's really
I don't think it's had that big effect. I don't think Arkansas struggles. 24-74, by the way, is Arkansas's SEC record. Is that what you said, Bart?
Yeah, that's right.
24-74.
60 and 87 overall.
Yeah.
Since A&M came in the league. That's Arkansas's record.
But I don't believe that Arkansas's struggles in the SEC are because Texas A&M came into the league. I just don't believe it.
Here's an additional stat, though, Chuck, on Arkansas being 24-74 in the league since A&M joined. Sam Pittman's got 11 of those 24 SEC wins.
Yeah.
That's basically half of them.
And so, I mean,
it tells you a little bit.
It shows you, number one, how hard it's been to beat Texas A&M. But it also shows you, too, and you go back to what Andrew said a minute ago about this game, about, you know, it more so than most, it's been a line of scrimmage game. Texas A&M was better along the lines of scrimmage. I mean, look back where we were after Petrino left. We had John L. And the first couple of years with Brett, they were building. Again, it almost, culminated. It's not the right word, but that win over Texas was so much, and we thought it was so much bigger than it actually turned out to be. But there was promise the first couple of years there. But most of these seasons, Texas A&M's just been a lot better at the line of scrimmage. There were a couple of years, 3 years maybe in the Bielema era where that was the exception. And I think as Coach Pittman has put his stamp on this program, I do think Arkansas is much, much better along the lines of scrimmage. That's the reason I think that's been the biggest positive in his entire tenure, I think. Because that's how you build the teams, how you build a program. It's got to be at the lines of scrimmage. That's why I think this will be a good game Saturday, because I think Arkansas, particularly on the defensive side, I think they've gotten better there.
We can react more to that. 877-377-6963 if you want to get on the Chuck and Bo Show. By the way, you can hear us on demand, Apple Podcast and Spotify. Just search the Chuck and Bo Show. Streaming on hitthatline.com as well as all social media platforms. Hit That Line Now app in the App Store, totally free. Really the easiest way to listen to the show. JT in Hot Springs, who texted in, said that's the best interview he's ever heard.
Do you think there was any sarcasm in that, or do you think he really means it?
I doubt it. I have a very high opinion.
JT, do you mean that?
How it was.
Or was there sarcasm involved in that?
What do you think? What is your bet?
I'm going sarcasm.
Yeah, well,
I'm going sarcasm.
You are likable. And
we got a football star in the room. Show a little respect.
There he is. There's Ty Mattingly. Hey, man. Welcome in. You
need some cash?
What do you got there?
Need some cash.
Got a watered down iced coffee.
Came for money.
Yeah. You got anything you want to say on the air? You got a big prediction for the Fayetteville-Bentonville West game on Friday night? You think? Okay, that's good.
Well, what'd you expect him to do? Dad, I don't know.
You think you're going to win?
I don't know.
All right. Well, good. He's excited for the A&M game. You got to come speaking to the mic. We'll do. Ty, why don't you just host the next segment when we come back? Well, it's whatever you make it.
You want it to be,
man.
This is
easy.
Works.
This is easy.
That's how it works.
You can do it. We're brought to you.
Just dream it up.
We're brought to you in part by Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer brewed for the drinker who doesn't want to compromise on flavor or taste. For those who don't follow trends, but they craft them. Who get more out of their day, night, and everything in between. For the go-getters, there's a new go-to. It's Flight by Yingling. 12 ounces, premium refreshment. America's oldest brewery. Only 2.6 grams of carbs, 95 calories, and 4.2% ABV. Your ice-cold flight is awaiting. Don't just raise a glass. Raise a Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. Sorry to do that in front of you. You're underage, but good luck on Friday. 8:31. Good morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
And I want someone to slide into my DMs. It's just
I'm
a
not sure
personal
I'm
goal.
entirely comfortable with this.
It sounds appealing to me.
It seems like everything is more expensive this year, but replacing your AC doesn't have to be. If you need to replace your AC this summer, before you commit, price check with Paschal. You can save money and use the professionals to replace your system. Enjoy the peace of mind knowing you chose the best option for your home. Visit gopaschal.com and with just a few clicks, see how much you can save with the Paschal price check. Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
Arkansas's one-stop automotive shop is right around the corner. Fayetteville Auto Park. FayettevilleAutoPark.com. Chevy, Toyota, Honda, Acura, Collision Center, all in one place. And if you're shopping pre-owned, Fayetteville Auto Park has you covered. With so many new cars sold, we always have a great selection of fresh trades. Why settle for anything less than the best? Fayetteville Auto Park, West Showroom Drive in Fayetteville. Proud sponsor of the Chuck and Bo Show.
You say, well, that's a tough thing to say when we live in a tough world.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insights and analysis?
Hell yes.
How about listening to an Arkansas football legend?
Matt Jones, all he does is make big plays.
What's the voice of the Hogs have to say?
Hey, what a great crowd last night.
Don't forget about the Omahogs.
The Hogs are going to Omaha.
Matt Jones, Chuck Barrett, and Phil Elson, the best in the business on the Hit That Line podcast network. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share.
State sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle in stock during the fall inventory reduction sale. Harry Robinson Buick GMC and Silas Ford combined inventories. Adam, we got the biggest selection and the best prices. Vehicles starting at just $59.99.
Got a ton of vehicles in stock, not wholesaling a bunch of stuff, trying to wholesale some of that stuff to the public. Guys, if you're looking for vehicles, now is the time to buy. We give more for your trade. We buy cars in. It's state sales tax paid. We're giving away 2 four-wheelers here at the end of the week. Guys, come out and come see us. A lot of times I have people asking me, how much for this lifted truck, but I don't like those wheels. Guys, come in here. Auto Accessories is right down the street. You want to pick your wheels. You want to pick your tires. You want to pick your lift. Come out, come see us. State sales tax paid.
You've got 50 lenders available to make sure everyone gets financed.
And it doesn't matter. I try to take your best bureau, your TransUnion, your Equifax, the best bureau, and send it to the bank that works the best.
State sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle, the fall inventory reduction sale. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Who can you trust to sell your home for the most money with the least amount of drama? You need a team of agents with decades of experience, commitment,
And of course, tens of thousands in marketing. I'm talking about the Limbird team. Tara Limbird Real Estate Group has sold over $1 billion in real estate. Tara's team could give you a cash offer in 72 hours or use Tara's high-octane marketing to sell your home quite possibly for thousands over asking. Find out more at limbirdteam.com. LIMBIRD.
Razorback fans, country music legend Alan Jackson is performing at Bud Walton Arena on September 28th as part of his farewell tour to cap off his Hall of Fame career. Come and join us for the first ever public concert at the Basketball Palace of Mid-America here in Fayetteville for a once-in-a-lifetime musical experience. Visit ArkansasRazorbacks.com and get your tickets today.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco for hard work and the great outdoors.
With quality and price and comfort you like, the savings that you're looking for.
We've got the shoes and boots, steel toes too, outerwear and a whole lot more.
Head to toe, it's gotta be Jelco
for hard work and the great outdoors.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
You're listening
Mic check,
to the
1,
Chuck
2,
and Mo
mic
Show
check.
on ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show. Listen anywhere at hitthatline.com or the Hit That Line Now app. And now, Chuck and Bo.
It's funny how things happen sometimes, Chuck. I didn't even know Ty was going to come by. My son, he's a senior receiver at Fayetteville High School, and he brought me some coffee. It's very nice of him. And Doug in Fayetteville listening sends a text in with a picture of Ty in the paper today.
Yeah.
And he's not in jail.
He's running
It's
for
not nothing
he's
nefarious.
diving for the pylon.
He's diving for a touchdown. Ty, thoughts on being in the paper today?
Well, I'd say I learned that move from you, but I don't know if you ever got that opportunity in high school football. But
Ty, I think it's understood that it didn't happen that way.
Every day in my life.
Yeah.
The short joke since he's 11.
Yeah. What? I mean, how old were you when you were taller than Bo? 10, 11?
I think it was before I was taking steps. Like, I think I was.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the poor man's equivalent of the Tom Brady roast live.
Ty
on
was
Thursday
like
morning.
Ty was 6 years old. They'd play basketball out in the driveway. Ty post him up.
Hey, I will say, when I was coaching Ty and his buddies in 6th grade, they were eye level.
Yeah.
I didn't have to get down on a knee to get on their level.
That's all.
That's for sure.
We still talk about it to this day, like the guys who we play basketball with, about how they've never had a coach who actually played 5-on-5 when we only had 9 players and didn't have 10. We had 1 player missing, so my dad would come in and play a full-on game scrimmage with us, and it'd actually be a good game because he's just like one of the players.
That's awesome.
No size advantage. All right, get out of here. Go to school. Love you.
You got a 9-year-old taking him
Love
down
you.
on the
Have
low
a-
block.
have a great day.
Yeah, that 9-year-old kid's been abusing Bo all afternoon.
Leave me alone. See you. Love you. Mark in Atlanta, Georgia. You're on the Chuck and Bo Show. Good morning.
That's so funny.
Hey guys, good morning.
Hey,
Happy to
Mark.
have y'all back on the airwaves.
Thank you.
Hey, if this has been discussed already, forgive me. I'm behind on the show. I listened to the first little bit on YouTube, and now I'm calling in. But at the beginning, y'all were talking about the appeal of fans going to Dallas for the A&M game. And one of the reasons that I liked going, I went to the first several years of the series, and one of the most satisfying in-stadium experiences I've had is beating A&M in front of half the stadium that's their fans, because their fans are so strange and proud of being so strange that, to beat them and see them be sad is just really satisfying. So I think that appeal is always there for our fans to go and get to beat A&M and see their fans upset.
I agree with you, Mark. Here's the thing that I think maybe is frustrating for a lot of us who've been around for a long time. When Arkansas was in the Southwest Conference, the Razorbacks owned A&M. At the end of the day, they were always A&M. They were always Aggies. And Arkansas always won. And obviously the last several years, it's been the other way around. But that's what I think gets a lot of people who've watched this thing for their whole lives.
I just feel so much better about this game for whatever reason.
I do too.
I think it's maybe Arkansas's offense, and I think when you're good on offense, and I would say Arkansas is good on offense. I know they've got some efficiency issues. They haven't put up as many points as they have, but when they go out, you think they're going to move the ball. You think they've got an opportunity to score. You don't feel like you have over certain periods of time as a Razorback fan, like you wonder how you're going to get yards. You're expecting to get yards and first downs. And it was interesting, Andrew, Monaco brought up third down because, as a defensive coordinator turned head coach, Mike Elko obviously is going to focus on third down defense. They've been pretty good on third down defense. Arkansas second in the country on third down and fourth down offense. They've been able to stay on the field, extend drives.
I think for most Razorback fans, the confidence that they feel going down there can be attributed to the Bobby Petrino factor. I think that, when you look at the success that Arkansas has had in that building, that's when it happened. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm not saying it's going to tip the scales one way or the other. But I think that's what fans are thinking about. I've got to admit, this week, when I've thought about the Southwest Classic, I've thought about Tyler Wilson. I've thought about Jarius Wright. I've thought about Ryan. I've thought about all of them because those were track meets down there. And Arkansas was really good at that point. And so I have to be honest, that's what gives me confidence this year is because I'm not saying, this was 12 years ago. I know that. 13 years ago. I completely get it. But I do think people are a little bit more confident, a lot more confident this time than they were this time a year ago.
You mentioned something earlier, Bart, and we had this conversation quite a bit in the offseason. We're still having it about Pittman. Then it goes to Talon Green, and some people wonder if Pittman should be the coach. Some people wonder if Talon should be the quarterback. But the consistency of Pittman being here for 5 years, you can criticize all kinds of things the previous 4 years if you want to, but I think it is paying off this year that they have that longevity and his tenure, and they have some staff retention. And I feel like for whatever reason, Pittman's more comfortable this year, which is interesting because he's on hot seat list coming into the season, but he just seems kind of at peace with who he is and what's going on right now.
I can tell you, and you've been in the building a lot too, when I'm in there, I have never for 1 second gotten the sense that anybody feels like they're fighting for their job. Now, I'm sure in the backs of their minds, they're smart enough to know, hey, if we don't win games, we're all going to get fired. But I've never for one moment sensed that was an overriding issue within that building. Because if it is, you're dead meat already. But I just don't get the sense that they're even thinking about that.
It's National Situational Awareness Day. Bart, did you have anything to add? Did you want to go back to what you were saying earlier about Pittman versus Elko being there in year one? And maybe that's an advantage for Arkansas.
I think you guys did a beautiful job of laying it out.
So.
Yeah, you want to comment on National Pancake Day?
No, I think we made a mistake a moment ago. We should have had Ty fix your laptop before he left.
Oh, that's
BE actually suggested that you had your kid in here. Your laptop's messed up. You let him get out of here without fixing.
I'm sorry,
your computer.
I was too busy being verbally assaulted.
Well,
Also, did you notice when he
that was
left?
your own family.
Did you notice when he left? It was.
Yeah.
When he left, he took the coffee with him that he brought for me.
Yeah. See ya.
It's gone.
It is gone.
It's like on second
I just
thought,
noticed that.
I think I'll keep it.
This is mine now.
Yeah.
I'll give Dad a hard time, and I'll take his coffee.
It's beautiful.
Brutal.
It's beautiful. We're brought to you in part by Blakeman's Fine Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. From the first whistle to the final play, Hog fans know how to celebrate, hoping to do that on Saturday. When it's time to mark those special moments, Blakeman's Fine Jewelry here for you. As the official jeweler of the Razorbacks, they craft pieces that celebrate your milestones on and off the field. It's Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. By the way, did you know that the Razorback Stadium is up for renaming rights? What do you think? What do you think it should be?
Chuck and Bo Show Stadium.
Chuck
baby.
and Bo Show Stadium.
Exactly.
There we go.
Coming soon. 8:45. Good morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I've been waiting to say this for 5 years. Sterling in Center Ridge.
This is quite the coup that they have put together. Bo and Chuck, this is a dream team.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Ty Story, high school football coach and former college quarterback.
I love coaching, but it's a lot more fun after LASIK. Now when I'm coaching, I can focus on my players and not my eyes. After LASIK, my eyes are even better than before when I had glasses or wore contacts. McDonald Eye Team was great. They put me at ease. I couldn't believe how well I was seeing the day after surgery. Good vision and good football go together. I'm really glad I trusted my eyes to McDonald Eye Associates.
See your best with safe and affordable LASIK from McDonald Eye Associates. Register for your free consultation at mcdonaldeye.com.
You know, for me, when it comes to finding the perfect diamond, there's just one name that stands above the rest in Northwest Arkansas: Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. As the region's premier experts for diamonds, Blakeman's offers an unparalleled selection of brilliant stones, handpicked for their quality and beauty. And they don't just help you find the perfect stone, they educate you every step of the way. So whether it's a proposal, celebrating an anniversary, or maybe just treating yourself, Blakeman's is where your search ends and your story begins.
Call the Hogs at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas for the 2024 Southwest Classic. This season marks the 15th and final iteration of the neutral site installment of this historic rivalry between the Hogs and the Texas A&M Aggies. It all goes down inside the house that former Razorback Jerry Jones built on Saturday afternoon, September 28th. Secure your tickets today at AT&TStadium.com.
The Razorbacks have won it. Look at these Razorbacks coming over to get that trophy.
Oaklawn is your hot springs escape. Enjoy plush comfort, upscale dining, and Arkansas's only Forbes 4-star rated spa at our luxury hotel. And with easy access to Hot Springs National Park and sparkling lakes, Oaklawn is your home base for everything the region has to offer. Come stay, play, and get away at Oaklawn, a Forbes Travel Guide recommended hotel. Make your reservation at oaklawn.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Hey, Razorback fans, it's Quinn Grovey alongside my man, Matt Zimmer. And it's a great time to be a Razorback.
Embrace the Hogs!
Whether it's a touchdown, a slam dunk, or a grand slam.
Big Suey, they were doing all the stuff. I went in there to get something to eat, and they're cheering. I'm like, what is going on here?
We're here with the excitement and insight you crave.
Well, you're giving me goosebumps now, you know.
It's the Razorback Daily from the team at Sport and Store.
That might be our best episode ever.
Available wherever you listen to your podcast each morning.
I want to make a couple of points here because I have the floor. All of it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Looking for a healthcare provider that truly listens to you? At Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, their team of nurse practitioners offer personalized healthcare with their in-house labs. Get fast results. Elite Wellness goes beyond just treating symptoms. Their holistic approach addresses the root causes of your well-being. Whether it's preventative care, illness, or exploring natural treatments, your health journey begins with Elite Wellness and Aesthetics. Call 479-242-9355 for your appointment or visit FortSmithElite.com. Elite Wellness and Aesthetics, getting to know you inside and out.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Win a brand new four-wheeler at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. Come take a test drive, and you could win a great four-wheeler in time for fall. Adam, it's the fall inventory reduction sale.
Yeah, we got vehicles that start as low as $59.95. I've got state sales tax paid. Guys, my best-selling new vehicle I have right now is a Buick Envista. You know, they get over 30 miles a gallon. The cars are really cool. You know, all those cars come with Apple CarPlay, a backup camera. They're loaded down. They're not stripped. Guys, if you want one of those, I mean, payments as low as $390, something like that for a brand new one of those. Come out and come see us. Got a ton of vehicles in stock.
This sale absolutely ends Monday at the end of the month, so you got through the rest of the week and the weekend to take advantage of these deals.
State sales tax paid. Cars low as $59,995. We give more for your trade. You don't have to trade. Come down here, test drive, get a free four-wheeler, or just come sell your car. We'll buy your car in. Biggest sale that we've had so far this year.
Fall inventory reduction sale. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show on ESPN 95.3.
You're listening to the Chuck and Bo Show. Listen anywhere at hitthatline.com or the Hit That Line Now app. And now, Chuck and Bo.
You're right. You're absolutely right that your algorithm will tell you who you really are.
That's right.
Yeah.
Nobody knows you better than your algorithm.
Your algorithm really just kind of, you got to take a long look in the mirror and say, wow, that's me.
Bo's, the reason this came up, we were talking during the break about shows that we were watching on the various services, and you, I don't know, you started talking about some chick show that I've never heard of. I don't know. And I wondered if your algorithm sent you to that show.
Well, it might have been, on my girlfriend's account. I don't, there's different profiles up there, and I don't think we were on mine.
I just wondered how it happened.
Yeah, SEAL Team's a good show if you've never seen that.
I've seen the ad, the little square up there, but I've not clicked on it.
Yeah, the show Bart recommended. I'm interested to get into that.
I'm watching Bad Monkey on Apple TV
that sounds
right
like
now.
something that'd be in your algorithm.
Vince Vaughn's the
oh, great.
It's a really good show.
The slimiest, dirtiest role player of all time.
Well, and it's set in the Florida Keys. It's kind of dirty and grimy and right up my alley. There's dirty deeds done dirt cheap on this show. That's my kind of stuff.
Have you ever seen Bloodline?
Yeah, I've seen it.
That's good.
Yeah, Isla Morada.
There's a picture from Clay coming in on the text line.
Wow.
Holding a brownie.
Clay's
fishing.
Clay Henry?
Yeah, he's fishing. Well, it's a personal text.
I'm sorry. I don't rate the personal text.
He doesn't send them to you. You don't care about fishing?
No.
He's got a great story about you and fishing.
Wow.
You were one and done. They went out there on a windy day.
It was cold.
It was nasty.
It was one of the most miserable mornings of my life.
Why don't we get in the boat and go 30 up the river again?
Well, but we were standing out there. I mean, I couldn't get the fly fish. I mean, the wind's blowing. It's cold. I didn't care. And I just wanted to get out of there. It's one of those deals you're a little kid, maybe Ty sometimes with you over the years. God, when are we leaving?
Yeah.
When is Dad going to get tired of this?
Right. Hey, how about
is Dad bored yet?
How about Dad? You take me fishing. That's $500. Okay, great. Let's go.
And
we've been out there an hour. Man, is it time to go home?
Clay was a wonderful
I've caught
host.
my fill of fish.
Clay was a wonderful host, and fortunately, we were able to get on a boat, and I was able to catch some fish before it was all said and done. But that early morning cold thing out there, no, that's I'm not in it for that. And I love the outdoors as much as anyone. Nobody's bigger.
Listen, there's no shame at your age knowing what you want in life. Yeah, and telling people, I'm not good with that.
Yeah.
Like I like to have an itinerary.
I've
not
only
like
got about 10 years left, and I'll be damned if I spend it
should
out
all
here
be
standing
like
in
that.
the water.
We should all be like that more. Stop faking it. You know what you
Well,
like. You
sometimes
just,
you got to play along because it's not all about you. But if you're asking me, no, I'd rather not do that. Whatever that is,
just say no.
It was important to Clay. Clay was my friend. It was important to Clay for me to go over there, and so I went.
Another moment where Chuck says, "It's not about me."
That's right.
It's not about me, even when it is. It's not.
Me and Baby Billy, baby.
That's right.
It's all about the other guy.
I hate that we didn't get into this today. Maybe we can get into it tomorrow. But yesterday, WholeHogSports.com wrote about this morning. Yesterday, Hunter Yurachek spoke at the Hogs Illustrated Sports Club. And among the things that he mentioned is the naming rights for Reynolds Razorback Stadium expired at the end of June. And so the naming rights are available, probably a price tag of $3.5-4 million.
For corporations, higher for individuals.
Yeah.
So Chuck and Bo Show Inc.
Right.
I'm sure would probably qualify for the lower rate.
I don't know if we're in there for the budget yet, but we are going to put it on social, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. Wrong answers only on what the stadium should be named.
I'm looking forward to it.
I am too.
I can't wait.
I don't want to even throw
tomorrow.
anything out there right now.
I got
have
some ideas.
Have a great Thursday, Chuck.
I will.
Chuck
You do
and
the
Bo
same.
Show. We'll
Thank
see you tomorrow.
I always enjoy talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. If